When we last left our heroes, Battler was literally seconds away from being made a permanent mind slave of Erika's. And George and, or not George, Cannon and Shannon were about to have their duel. So, infinite mind slaver combo or pistols at dawn with instant death pistols. Both kind of bad. But hey, good luck to our heroes. I'm sure they'll all find a way to make it through. Well, Battler will. I don't really know or think it's super relevant that Shannon or Cannon survives. Guess we'll find out. A dreary breeze blew through the golden rose garden. Shannon and Cannon had already finished walking 19 steps, their backs still facing each other. I swear, at 19 steps, you're basically going to have to run at your opponent before you get a shot in, especially if you only get one bullet. You miss, or they use magic and juke it, and you're fucked? Like, ooh, scary stuff. When the demons conducting the trial gave the signal, they'd both turn and settle this. Each had one of the dueling pistols given by the demons in their hands. The bullets promised certain death no matter where on the body they hit. This duel would not end until one of them died. George and Jessica just quietly watched the ones they love. They had already entrusted all their thoughts to them as well as their fates. Just watching over their partners was now the only way they could show their trust. Cannon looks sad, but possibly resigned. Shannon looks very serious. Shannon and Cannon stood quietly with their backs turned. They'd already set aside the feelings they'd built up during all those days they'd known each other. The next time they laid eyes on the other, nothing would be asked of them except pulling that trigger. The only one who still couldn't muster any determination or resolve towards this duel was Beato. The closer the moment came, the less she understood. The love between George and Shannon wasn't standing in the way of the love between Jessica and Cannon, or vice versa. Why then? Why, when both sides could find happiness, were they being forced to kill each other? It's a very good question. I guess we'll find out. I don't understand. Neither do I, Beato. Neither do I. Just can't understand. Without love, it cannot be seen or something. I gotta sound intelligent. We're not permitted to do anything but watch. The parts. Furu-furu-san. Why this duel? No trial of love. Really are demons. You really just want to enjoy watching one of the pairs fall apart, don't you? That may not be wrong. But it doesn't seem like enough of a motive in this series. Silence. You'll get in the way of the lovers. You're the ones getting in the way. One will fall. Beato here, just sitting here, giving us the reader's perspective. That we know it'll get when it gets an explanation, we'll know. One will fall. The one who loves that person will grieve. If only you two weren't around, no one would have to be sad. That's not true. They're certain of it. If we hadn't set up this duel, what would have happened if you didn't set up the duel? And both pairs would have fallen apart. Duel is necessary. I haven't been able to accept that since the beginning.
魔法の奇跡がなければ恋って成し遂げられないんですか？
You say their love can't be successful without a miracle of magic? I guess so. That's what they're saying.
恋って愛し合う二人さえいれば他に何もいらないんじゃないんですか？
What does love need other than two people who love each other? You'll have to ask the par and for the experts. They're the experts. I'm just a regular dude.
この決闘は無意味です。
Duel is meaningless.
だからやめて、二人とも。
Stop it, you two.
シャノンも
Shannon,
カノンも
Ganon, both of you.
あんなにも実の兄弟のように仲良しだったあなたたちがどうして殺し合わなくちゃいけないの？
Why must you fight each other to the death when you were once as close as true siblings?
私にはどうしても
I just can't understand.
わからない。
Hopefully we'll understand shortly. Probably after the duel. Everyone should have been able to hear Beato's yell. However, no one's expression changed.
そうだよ。
That's right.
よく気づいたね。
I'm impressed you noticed.
それこそ愛の真実。
This is love's truth.
何がですか？
What is?
愛し合う二人以外に本来は何もいらないんだ。
Normally, love needs nothing more than two people who love each other.
だからそれが二人でないとき、
Therefore, when there aren't two people,
私たちは決闘でその数を二人にしなくてはならない。
we must use a duel to make that number become two.
一人の女性を奪い合っての決闘ならまだわかります。
I would understand if it were a duel between two people fighting over one woman.
愛し合ういびつな三人を二人にする決闘。
Or a duel to cut three people in love down to two.
しかし
But it's not
彼
like
ら
that,
は
is it?
二人と二人。
We have two pairs of people.
それぞれの世界はもう完成されてるじゃないですか。
World formed by each pair is complete, isn't it? Well, it is. But this is the wrong game for that, Beato.
争わなければならない理由が何もない。
There's nothing compelling him to fight.
世界を生み出す最小の人数は
The
二
minimum
人。
number of people that can create a world is two.
二人が揃って初めて世界は生まれ、恋は成就される。
A world can only be born. Love can only be fulfilled when two people gather.
だからこの決闘は必要なんだ。
That's why this duel is necessary.
彼らがその人数を満たすために。
They can get up to that number of people.
家具は人間未満だから一人を満たせないと言い出すんですか？
Furniture is subhumans. They don't count as a single person.
正解だよ。
Exactly.
家具は人間未満。
Furniture is subhuman.
だから家具と人間じゃ二人を満たせない。
That's why furniture and a human cannot add up to two people. So Genji plus anyone is not a complete person, so they'll never have a relationship. I see. We're using Genji as an example because they used furniture and Genji is also furniture.
そんなのおかしいです。
That's insane. Yeah, sounds pretty
愛
crazy.
し合う二人の身分なんて関係ない。
That has nothing to do with it if both of them love each other. You would think that, but I suppose that's where we're wrong. Somehow. Genji isn't a person, he's a Chad. I wish that were true, but I'm not entirely sure that's the case.
Yeah,
It does. Furniture are not full people. Alright, we have
本
one
当
and a
に
half
愛し合う
people.
二人の身分は関係ないの？
Did you really think that the status of a pair of lovers doesn't matter?
妻を持つ男との恋は許されるの？
Is a man who has a wife allowed to love someone else?
夫を持つ女との恋は許されるの？
Is a woman who has a husband allowed to love themselves? Or love someone else? Sorry, I said themselves. I mean, but by what definition, for like in your present monogamous society, that would not be permitted, but I also don't think murdering people is permitted in society either, so Furfur is probably wrong on the basis of murder is wrong. So sure, make up your rules, because the realm you live in the realm you live in, the words and rules don't really matter either way.
親との恋は許されるの？
Are you allowed to fall in love with your parents? I mean, I'm gonna repeat the same thing I said for can someone who's married love someone else? I'm not making a judgment. I'm saying, technically, it's possible. Whether or not society wants you to is a different story. But we're also consorting with demons, which society would tell you is wrong. And most sane people would tell you there isn't really a strong argument to be made in favor of working with these demons. So, you know, pretty weak platform to stand on, Zapar.
子との恋は許されるの？
Are you allowed to fall in love with your children? That's just the same as the previous question.
恋の許されない身分なんていくらでもある。
There are so many situations where status makes love unallowable. Yep.
じゃあ家具って何なんですか？
What is furniture?
どうして家具は恋をしちゃいけないんですか？
Why mustn't furniture fall in love? We haven't seen an explanation for that. We might get one here, though.
魂が一人に満たないから。
Because their soul is less than a single person. That seems utterly nonsensical from a non-magical perspective.
シャノンもカノンも駒である君ももちろん。
Shannon, Canon, and of course, the piece you are.
あなたたちはみんな家具。
All of you are furniture.
魂が一人分に満たないから人間以下。
Subhuman beings who possess less than a single person's soul.
人を愛する資格はただ一つ。
To be qualified to love a human, you need only one
一人
thing.
に満たつ魂を持って
The
いること。
possession of a single person's soul.
だから愛し合う二人は世界を生み出せる。
That's why pair and love can create a world. Okay.
例えば妻を持つ男はもう一人の女を愛する資
I
格を持つと
literally
思う。
just answered that question for example, do you think a man with a wife has the right to love another woman?
あるわけがない。
Of course not.
二人の女を愛せばその愛情は一人分に満たない。
If he loved two women, neither would get a full person's worth of love.
そのような男に愛する資格はない。
A man such as that would be unworthy of love. I see.
ね？
See?
人を愛する資格のない人間や身分なんていくらでもあるの。
There are plenty of statuses in humans who have no right to love a person. Okay.
二人の愛の一切あれば関係ない？
As long as both people feel loved, nothing else matters.
それは甘い愛の偽善。
It's the hypocrisy of naive love.
僕たちはね、恋をする資格を偽る人間を
We
許
cannot
さな
falsely
い。
we cannot forgive humans who falsely pretend they have the right to love.
世界を生み出す最小人数を満たせない人間以下の存在の恋を許さない。
We cannot forgive the love of subhuman beings, of those who don't make up the minimum number of people required to create a world. You surprised you anything? I mean, I had a prediction that they were the same person a while back, but the evidence doesn't add up considering they're regularly trapped in separate rooms from each other, or one is killed and a body is discovered while the other person is in the room talking with people. But, sure. That's an existing theory we had from, what, 2 chapters ago? That, or at least we tried to investigate that one.
僕たちの試練は
This is the purpose
そ
of
の
our
罪深
trial.
き魂たちに一人分の魂を取り戻させ
To let
本当
sinful
の恋が
souls
できるようにするために
regain a complete soul and become capable of true love. Alright.
ゼパル様、フルフル様。
Ufur-sama. Alright, who am I cheering for? Zapar or Furfur's side?
僕たちの心の準
Cannon's
備
side or Shannon's side?
できました。
Our hearts are ready.
どうか決闘の合図を
Give the
お願い
signal
し
to,
ます
to start the duel. Shannon looks somewhat intense. Cannon has his normal expression, which usually looks bored or resigned. The pair, bidding farewell, quietly ask for the signal to be given. Zapara nodded silently and then walked to a place that could be seen by both of them. Whoever spoke in a voice quiet enough to avoid distracting the two duelists.
見ているといいわ
Watch.
愛し合う恋人たちのどちらかが破綻する決闘を
Watch the duel to see which of the lovers will fall apart.
いいえこれは破綻のための決闘じゃない
This isn't a duel to see who falls
本
apart.
当の恋を成就させるための
It's a duel to make true love succeed.
私にはあなたたちの言っている意味が
You two are safe.
わからない
I guess
いいえ
we'll find it later.
わかりなさい
You must understand. You're gonna make me understand? Well, be my guest.
これは本当に人を愛することができる人間が誕生する瞬間
This marks the birth of a human who can truly love another. Alright.
意味がわからない
Still don't understand.
どちらが勝とうともどうか祝福してあ
No
げ
matter
て
which wins, please support them. I mean, you could just call them a murderer and tell them to F off.
今彼らの
Right now,
家具としての日々が終わる
their days as furniture will end.
合図は簡単
Signal is simple.
僕が1、2の3を
I
数え
will
る
count to 3. Very
3
generous.
と同時に決闘開始だ
When I reach 3, the duel will commence.
承知してます
That's very straightforward, thank you. Shannon gets
同
it.
じく
Shannon gets it.
2人が共に弾を外したら一度中断
If both miss, the duel will be temporarily suspended.
再び弾を与えもう一度背中合わせからやり直し
You'll be given bullets again, and we'll start over from the beginning with your backs to each other.
決着がつくまで繰り返したろ
I guess it'll repeat until it's all settled. Yup, pretty much.
ゼパル
Huh.
この決闘過去に何度も見てるのかい
You've seen this sort of duel many times in the past?
もちろん
But of course!
何度も見てきたよ
I've seen many of them.
大抵何度の打ち合いで決着がつくんだい
Usually how many times you need to face off before it's over? Interesting question to pose first. How many times do you expect?
ほとんどの場合弾丸一発で決着がつくよ
In almost all cases, it's decided in the first round.
みんな随分と拳銃の腕がいいんだな
They must all be really good shots.
違うよ
That's not it.
片方が外せば残った方は悠々と追い詰めて撃つことができる
One side misses, the other can corner them at their leisure and
手
shoot.
段をもし外したらまず勝ち目がないね
If the first bullet misses, you've lost your chance at victory.
しかしぼんやりしていれば引き金も引けずに負けることになる
However, if you take too long, you'll lose before you can even pull the trigger.
同じ負けるならせめて引き金を引いてから負けたい
If you're gonna lose anyway, you'd at least have wanted to have pulled the trigger first.
いい覚悟だよ二人とも
Your resolve is good, you two.
では行くよ
Let's go. Getting serious. Let's see that resolve. Who's getting shot today?
1
One.
2の
Ooh.
3
3. And here we go. In the Golden Rose Garden. When the number 3 was yelled, the sound of gunfire rang out. Once. Just once? Even the people watching couldn't tell whether that was a single gun firing or the sound of both going off at the same time. In the midst of the stench of gunpowder and white smoke, there, with gun raised and smoke trailing the barrel, was Cannon. And lying on the earth was Shannon.
Shannon! いや、
No.
シャノンが倒れたのは銃声より早かった。
Cannon fell before the gun fired. Jessica's distressed expression was enough to explain what had happened. Slowly, Shannon stood up. There was no bullet wound anywhere on her body. At the time of the signal, Shannon had thrown herself to the ground, dodging the bullet. It had been a bet. If Cannon had turned around and taken time to aim carefully before shooting, then he would have shot her as she lay there. However, if Cannon shot as soon as he turned around, she'd be able to dodge it. Cannon had also made a bet. He didn't underestimate Shannon's skill with a firearm. He was aware if he assumed Shannon would be timid enough to let him shoot first, he would lose before even pulling the trigger. So he decided to shoot right away. And he predicted that when he shot, Shannon would reflexively pull the trigger too. Since he intended to shoot right away, he'd be more mentally prepared, so he was confident he'd be able to shoot accurately. If Cannon had cautiously turned around and Shannon had shot instantly with the strength of her will, then Cannon wouldn't have even been able to pull the trigger. So no impatience on Cannon's part was to blame here. The two had simply given it their all and left their fates to the heavens, reaching the result.
まさか
I didn't imagine.
あの短気な姉さんが
My quick-tempered Nason
撃たないなんてね。
wouldn't shoot at all.
私も意外だった。
I'm surprised
あ
too.
の慎重なカノン君が振り向きざまなんてね。
To think the old prudent Cannon-kun would shoot as soon as he turned. As Shannon quietly pointed the barrel at him, she slowly walked forward. She planned on cautiously closing the gap until she reached a distance from which she could hit with even more certain accuracy. And Cannon had already lost any means of fighting back. He could only try to dodge Shannon's bullet and place his bet on the second round. If they both thought this, then what happened next would turn that assumption on its head.
まだ
This
終
isn't
わっちゃいない。
over yet. Cannon dashed forward like a tornado, bent so low he was almost crawling over his shadow. This duel could only be settled by a bullet. But he wasn't the only one who had a bullet. If he could steal Shannon's gun away from her, he could turn this fight around. If Shannon calmly shot through Cannon, it would end. The odds that Shannon would miss so that he could get close enough to her before she fired. Cannon would bet all the chips he had on them. Good luck, Cannon. Shannon could draw Cannon in until the last second, then shoot him from a closer distance. I mean, it is possible to dodge a bullet, like she did. If it's possible to dodge a bullet, then maybe someone else can. Is that what we're thinking? Well, good luck. If she pulled the trigger just before he reached her, then even if she missed, they'd have to start again from the beginning. Shannon kept her gun pointing at Cannon's forehead as she compared these options until the final moment. She led her shot, calculating the distance he had already moved and the time it would take to pull the trigger. The goddess of fortune smiles impartially. Throwing past the final moment, Shannon could have shot cannon barrel into her chest. He then swung his hand up and knocked the gun Shannon held into the air. The strike sent Shannon's gun flying into the sky. At the same time, Cannon's gun also flew from his hand and danced through the air. The two guns danced a rondo through the sky, reached their peak, and began to fall. By that time, neither knew whose gun was which. The two guns were exactly the same. Everything about them was identical. There was no way to tell them apart. However, there was one difference. Only one of them had a bullet inside. The pair raised their hands to the sky, trying to grasp their fate, their miracle. It was as though... Indeed, Hanyu and Rika making miracles. And Cannon and Shannon trying to win a coin flip here. It was as though they were trying to grasp the wings of a descending angel of miracles. The pair looked up at the brilliant sky and entrusted everything to the goddess of fortune. Then they grabbed one of the guns out of the air, and after dancing a momentary rondo, their arms crossed each other. Even that had been like a dance. Then they pressed the barrel of their gun up against each other's forehead, both as steady as a rock. Who knows who's got this one? Even they could not know which gun held the bullet. When they both pressed the triggers, one would die and one would remain alive. The match would end. George and Jessica wouldn't know the result until the moment came. The muzzle of Cannon's gun, which had already fired, must have been warm. The muzzle of the other gun, which Shannon hadn't fired, should have been ice cold. Am I playing the Higurashi gacha later? Probably. But I'm probably going to do that on my own time. Though perhaps the pair of them did realize which gun was which, and yet both expressions were solemn, the faces of those who would believe in their fate unswervingly until the moment the triggers were pulled. Don't be sad. We'll meet again soon in the Golden Land. We should have done this much sooner. If only we had, our reunion could have been avoided entirely. Yeah, it's alright. Considering what day this is, even this duel is just a farce. Oh, you're right. How's the NA Lotto? We're reading Umineko. That's what we're doing. If we're just gonna revive in the Golden Land. Anyway, it really is a farce. Then I'll see you later. Yeah, you too. Salam! The trigger is pulled, and of course, scene change. Another... Oh, Cannon-kun! Oh, that's not great. That's not a good sign. Is Cannon-kun biting it? Is the canonical Cannon-kun gone? Wait, what's going on? Hang in there! Suddenly, Cannon fell to the floor as if he'd had an attack of anemia. It had happened without any warning beforehand, so everyone rushed up to him in alarm. What they saw surprised them. There was a single strand of blood across his forehead, making it look as though it had cracked open. How? What happened? What's going on? Trying to get a look at the wound, Goto wiped Cannon's forehead with a handkerchief. However, his forehead was perfectly smooth without a trace of a wound. And yet blood was pouring out, almost as if it was seeping through his skin. What are you doing?
しっかり止
Stop the
血し
bleeding
ろ
already.
それが
But
傷がないの
there's
に
no wound.
ち
The blood.
血が止まらない
The blood won't stop coming.
カノがしっかり
Hang in there, Cannon-kun. Cannon-kun.
よしやく
Yoshia-kun. Genji's just like, oh, he's dead. Cannon's forehead was pale, and though his eyes were open, they'd lost the light of the living. Just like a puppet whose strings had been cut. He had passed away. Yoshia-kun! Yoshia-kun! Alas, Lakshmi Bai can only attract so much misfortune, and she has to be in range of the misfortune. I don't think the bullet could have hit her because it's in a pocket dimension. And she doesn't exist. Mostly the not existing part, though. I'm pretty sure it could leave the pocket dimension and kill her.
さよなら
That would be bad luck, and that's exactly what would get her killed. So long, Cannon.
そして
And thank you.
ありがとう
Jessica dashed up to Cannon's corpse, held it, pressed her forehead against his, and the still hot blood was smeared over her forehead as well. She sobbed and sobbed.
シャノ
Shannon.
ジョージさん
George son?
私が勝ちました
We
こ
won.
れで
Now? You killed your
私には
you killed your brother for no reason. Why the fuck would I marry you? You're a psychopath. At least George killed his mom because she was trying to kill him and control his life, and he probably had to at least get into a fight with her. George, we've won. Now I finally have the right.
あなたを愛する資格が
I love you.
やった
Finally. Shannon leaned against George's chest as though the strings holding her up had been cut. George held her in silence.
よしやくよしやく
Yoshia-kun! Alright, rest in pepperoni, Yoshia-kun. There was nothing in the golden rose garden except the wind that carried golden flower petals and the sound of Jessica's grieving sobs. Well, that doesn't sound good. Sorry, Jess.
これで僕たちへの試練は
Is your
もう十
trial
分か
for us finished now? Why don't we put the other person out of their misery while we're killing people? That seems good. She's miserable enough, just shoot her. And end the suffering. After all, based on their logic, there's no way she can love again. So blam blam, let's do it.
十分さ
It is!
おめでとう
Congratulations!
残ったのは君たちだ
You two were the ones who reigned.
君たちを祝福するわ
Give you our
でも
blessing.
忘れないで
Please don't forget.
愛を育むのがこれからのあなたたちの務め
You're now responsible for nurturing your love. So don't fuck up, I guess, is the order.
この奇跡が生み出した恋の種をどうかしっかり育ててほしい
Please take good care of the seed of love that this miracle has created.
もちろんさ
Of course.
彼女と君たちにかけて誓う
I swear it's her and you two.
それでは魔法の奇跡をシャノンに
And now, let Shannon have the miracle of magic.
今こそ君の魂を人間に
Now your soul will become
一
human.
人分に満たそう
You'll become a single person.
集え満たぬ魂よ
Gather incomplete souls.
一なる魂となりて愛を
Become
知り
one.
たまえ
And know love. When Zapar and Furfur faced the heavens and yelled the miracle of love, gathered the souls around Shannon. They came from the losers of the trial, from Canon, who'd been defeated, and from Beato, who had dropped out. Slowly, the bodies of the two began to break down to flecks of gold dust. Oh, Beato dies too? Interesting. What's
こ
going
れ
on
は
here?
どういうことだ。負けたら消えるとは聞いていないぞ。
No one said the losers would disappear. Oh, Jessica's dying too. As she yelled, Beato the Elder supported the body of her fading little sister. However, the two demons were smiling quietly.
カノンは死んだから消える
Canon disappeared because he
そ
died.
してベアトはバトラーを愛するために生まれたからその資格を失って消える
Beato was born to love Battler and is disappearing because she lost the qualifications to do that.
これはと
It's
ても
quite fair.
あなたが生き残ったなら他の二人が消え
If you
去った。
survived, the other two would have vanished.
我が妹よ、しっかり
Hang in there.
しっかりせよ。
Hang in there.
バトラの密室を解き救うのではなかったのか。
Weren't you gonna solve Battler's closed room and save him?
こんなところで果ててどうする。
What are you doing getting finished off in a place like this?
それでも一なるわらわの片割れか。
You call yourself a part of our complete form? Evidently not.
私って
Why?
どうしてバトラさんを好き
Why
に
was
な
I
るなんて
born?
目的のために生まれたんですか。
For the purpose of loving Battler-san?
どうして私は
Why?
バトラさんを好きなの。
Why do I love Battler-san?
好きになる理由を
Truth is... What's the truth?
実は
I don't know. Oh, that's fair. You don't actually know, right? Neither do we.
知らないです。
Rest in pepperoni. I don't know why I started to love him.
はあ。
What?
こんな時に何を。
Why are you just saying this now?
だって私
After all,
生まれた時に
when I was
バ
born,
トラさんを愛しなさい。
I was told to
愛
love
されな
Battler-san
さいって。
and be loved by him.
それが目的で生み出されて。
That was my purpose.
だからどうして
So,
バトラさんを私は好きなのか。
I don't really know. That's fair. Your purpose built to love someone, you don't really know why you like them? Is your purpose built to love them? That makes sense. You don't have to think it's a great idea, but that works. Okay.
よく知らなくて。
Why I love him?
人を好きになるのに理由などいらぬわ。
People don't need a reason to love each other. You don't need a solid reason,
消える
no.
な。
Don't disappear.
そなたが消えたら誰がバトラを救う。
If you disappear, who will save Battler? Well, Battler might save himself. Who knows?
我が妹よ、ベアト。
The little sister?
ベ
Beato?
アトリーチェ。
Beatrice! Fabricated Beatrice is dead. R.I.P. in peace. R.I.P. in peace. Second Beatrice to die this series.
私って
Why?
どうして。
Why is it? You're asking me? I don't freaking know. Figure it out.
バトラさんのことを好きなんですか。
Why is it that I love Battler-san? Didn't you just say it was because you were made to do so?
お母
Mother?
ああ、俺
Well-
家庭的なことか案外苦手なんだよな。
I'm actually not a big fan of the family-oriented type of
この
girl.
通りガサツな性格だろ。
See how crude I am, right?
レディーファーストとか女の子の前では礼儀正しくとか
I just can't
そう
stand
いうのはさっ
acting
ぱり苦手なんだよな。
politely in front of the girls, ladies first, all that stuff. I see.
だから強いて好みはって言われると
So if I had to say what type I liked,
そうだな。ジェシカみたいなタイプの女なら結構好きかもな。
probably like a Jessica-ish
俺が
girl.
ガサツなように向こうもガサツがちょうどいいんだ。
I mean, if I'm crude, why shouldn't she be too?
お互いよ。汚ねえ言葉遣いで気づかれなく男女とか気にしないでバカがやれるラフな関係が理想か
It'd
もな。
probably be just perfect to have a rough, relaxed relationship where we could mess around without worrying about gender and be rude with no worries.
だからもしも俺に彼女ができるとしたら
So if I ever get a girlfriend,
いつも俺がジェシカとバカやってるみたいにはちゃめちゃな関係がいいよな。
I hope it's someone I can joke around with and have all the time.
あ
Huh?
容姿の好み
What would she look like?
別にそんなのは気にしねえけどよ。
Can't say I care too much either way.
まあ洋画とかに出てくる金髪母音青めのグラマラスな彼女だったら
Well, I mean, if she happened to be a glamorous woman, blonde and bouncy with blue eyes like in Western films,
最高だぜ。
that'd be awesome. Start sweating
ち
nervously.
いちもませろーいってな。
I'd love to rub those boobs. Am I battler? Am I battler? No, no. No, battler is Japanese. We're completely different people. Beatrice, listen. I'm giving you my love for Oshiumi or Battler. Become the kind of woman Battler wants. Take the golden hair he likes, take the blue eyes he likes, take this personality that matches his, and then you gotta love him in my place. And then if possible, you must be loved by him. Good luck, Beato. I can no longer love him. Please take my feelings that went unfulfilled. My feelings I couldn't hold back. And make my wish come true. I mean, I feel like that's a shitty wish to fulfill for someone. From this day forward, you're no longer the Rockin' Jima ghost that lives only to play pranks. From this day forward, you're the master of the island. And you'll wait for the day he comes to fulfill his promise. From this day forward, you'll do this in my place. So from this day forward, you'll no longer be me. Please forgive me for pushing all my worries onto you. Will I alone try to find happiness? From this day forward, you have the right to hate everything. From this day forward, you're the Golden Witch Beatrice. And one day, you'll destroy everything, revive everything, bring blessings to all lovers. And when that happens, I pray you and I will both succeed in finding happiness. Well, that was excessively dramatic. Jesus Christ, Beato. From this day forward, you'll no longer be me, and from this day forward, I will no longer be you. The two of us will split apart a single soul and share it. Though, of course, neither of us will possess a complete soul, I'm sure our dreams will be more numerous than those of humans. Let us be blessed, my dear Beatrice. No one will ever be able to see your form. However, I alone can see you. And if you are loved by many people, I'm sure everyone will be able to see you someday. Okay. With love, they'll be able to see us. Without love, it couldn't be seen. So. Yoshia-kun. Rip Yoshia. He seemed like an alright dude, and now he's gone. We're good.
私たちは
Are we
夢を見てい
Are we dream-
るのか
dreaming? Meanwhile, Battler like, haha, my plans paid off. My plans are still, game board's still progressing. As long as I can get out of this stupid trick. Are we dreaming?
ふざけろ。
Insane.
こりゃ何の冗談
What
だ
kind
よ。
of joke is this? What?
え
You ask if someone in the adjacent room fired a gun killing Cannon. Or will they just say heart attack stroke is a valid excuse for someone to be dead and somehow counts as murder?
なんだ、南條先生を。
Get Dr. Nanjo.
南條先生を呼んでき
Call
ます。
Nanjo here.
5だ。
Good enough.
もういい。
That's enough. Genji, who had been calm and silent through the whole thing, finally spoke. And his were the most reasonable words spoken. If they called Nanjo here, then what? Not only was there no arm to take the pulse of, there wasn't even a forehead to feel the heat of. Like leftover snow on a spring day, Cannon's form had been... By now, not even a trace remained. His form had sparkled with a spray of gold, vanishing completely.
どこ
Where?
どこ行っちゃったの？
Where'd he go?
ヨシヤくん、どこ？
Where'd he go, Yoshi? Where's Yoshi at?
ヨシヤくん！
Where's Yoshi?
ヨシヤくん！
さよなら、
So long,
お嬢様。
my lady.
ううん、
No,
ジェシカ。
Jessica.
カノンさん、
Cannon-san.
僕たちはもう、
By now, no one's eyes can see us.
それはつまり、彼らの世界ではいな
We're
い
no
のと同じ
longer
こ
of
とだ
their
けれど、
world. R.I.P.
でもこうして
Over.
僕たちはここにいる。
We're right here. Are
そう
you?
ですね。
You're right.
私たちは
We're here.
ここにいる。
僕たちには体なんて
For us,
肉でできた檻でしかないのだか
a
ら、
body is nothing more than a cage made of flesh.
悲しむ必要なんてない。
Well, there's nothing, no need to be sad.
気の毒ですね。
But I do feel sad for her. For Jessica-san.
だからこれが
That's,
僕の
that's
罪
my
なの
sin.
さ。だから僕たち家具は
This
恋
this
をし
is
ては
why
いけなかったん
furniture
だ。
isn't supposed to love.
あなたはこれから
What will you do now?
姿を失っても
Though I have lost my form. Though you've lost your form, what? Got something to do even though you're dead?
そして話しかけることができなくても、
Though I can no longer talk to her.
もしもジェシカが僕に語りかけてくれたとき、
If Jessica ever talks to
そ
me,
の背中でそっとうなずくくらいの
I
こ
can
と
do
しかでき
nothing
ない
but
けれど、
nod behind her back.
だからそばにいることにする。
I'll be by her side.
良いことだと思いま
I
す。
think that's wonderful.
君はどうする？
And what will you do?
バトラさんを密室から助けたいです。
I want to save Battler from a closed room.
密室？
A closed room? After looking a bit taken aback, Cannon laughed softly. Beato, who hadn't expected to be laughed at, looked a little sour.
どうして笑うんですか？
Why are you laughing?
私には大切なことなんです。
だって密室なんて
But it's a closed room.
体のある人間たちの問題じゃないか。
That's for some humans with bodies to worry about, right? You don't have a body, you can't care about the closed room issue? Hmm.
僕らはすでに肉の檻から解放された存
We've
在
already
だ
been
よ。
released from our cage of flesh.
密室なんか僕たちの妨げになるものか。
How could a closed room hinder us?
そんなのいいんです
You
か？
sure about that?
だってチェーンロックとかガムテープの封印とか赤き真実とか
There's a chain lock, packing tape seals, red truth. And apparently it's no issue whatsoever.
そうか
I see.
君は駒の世界じゃなくてそれより上の世界の存在だったね。
You aren't a being from the world of pieces, but a higher
だ
level
から
world.
僕たちとは違う制約があるらし
Since
い。
your limitations are different from ours, so I hear.
やれやれ。
Ah, well. Cannon stretched. It looked as though he was about to head out somewhere.
カノンさん
Canon-san.
敗者同士の仲さ。
Well, seeing as you're a fellow
Yeah.
loser. Alright,
僕が行ってきてあげるよ
I'll。go for you.
僕がお屋敷の客室へ行ってバトラ様を外に出し
I'll go to the guest room in the mansion,
入れ
let
替わ
Battler
りでチ
summon
ェー
out.
ンをかけて代わりにクローゼッ
Set
ト
the
に隠
chain
れる。
behind me and hide in the closet in his place.
それでいいかい？
Is that enough?
気持ちは嬉しいです。
That for the sentiment?
でもカノンさんはいとこ部屋から出たくてもエリカさんの封印のせいで
And if you wanted to leave the cousin room because of Erika's seals. Unlike the next room over, the cousin room containing Cannon was a guaranteed complete closed room, even counting the windows. Not only did he have no way to save Battler, he couldn't even escape
なら
himself.
君の魔法で僕に
In that case,
力を
use your
与えて
magic to give me power. I mean, I'm not gonna say that doesn't work. That doesn't make sense though. You have to be able to do things yourself. How are you escaping yourself? That's how magic works.
私の
My magic?
魔法で
You're a witch? Witch power, alright. Yeah.
僕に魔法をかけて。
Use your magic on me. Show me some of that mojo. Wait.
私
I don't even know how.
魔法の使い方なんて
君は黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェじゃないのかい？
Aren't you Beatrice, the Golden Witch? Magic only works for people who help themselves. Don't you know that?
私は魔女ですけれど
I'm a witch, but
その
how do we put this?
魔法どころか密室トリックもわからないただの
Don't know about closed room tricks, much less magic. I'm a witch that doesn't know magic. Sorry. Okay.
やれやれ。
You gotta carry cannons.
いいかいベアトリーチェ。
Alright, listen up, Beato. Listen up, Beato.
一度しか教えないよ。
I'll tell you this
魔
once.
女ってのはね、
This is what a witch
魔
is.
女ってのは
魔女ってのは
A witch is
謎を解かされる側じゃない。
not the one who solves puzzles.
謎を解かされる側じゃ
The
な
one
い
who solves puzzles? Okay, a witch is the one who creates the puzzle. But you're obligated to solve this puzzle.
ああ、そうさ。
That's
どう
right.
して魔女が誰かの謎で頭を抱えてるんだい？
You're a witch? Why are you clutching your head at some because of someone else's
頭を
puzzles?
抱えるのは
You're obligated to solve them?
魔女の仕事じゃないだろう。
That's not a witch's job, is it? What is
じゃあ
witch's job?
魔女の仕事は
僕の知ってる黄金の魔女ベアトリーとびっきりの魔法で誰にもわからない難問を生み出して煙に巻いて嘲笑ってるやつを言うんだ。
Used insane magic to create a puzzle no one could understand, confusing everyone and
誰にも
sneering.
わからない最悪の謎を作って徹底的に煙に巻いて
Create a
こ
horrible
き下
riddle.
ろしてやれ。
One no one will get. Spin everyone around and
相
badmouth
手
them.
に出された謎で頭を抱えるのはね、君じゃない。
You're not supposed to clutch your head worrying about your opponent's puzzles. That's your opponent's job. Well, But can't. Alright, whatever. I would argue against canon, but there's no point.
悩むのは私の相手の仕
Ring
事
is my opponent's job.
後ろ宮バトラーをどうやって密室から出すかを悩む
Don't
んじ
worry
ゃな
about
い
how Shiromiya Battler got out of the closed room.
チェーンロックの密室
A chain locked closed room?
バカバカしいね
Trivial. Trivial.
なら君はそんなのよりもっともっととびっきりの最高の密室を作ってやって
You need to create a much more spectacular and ultimate closed room.
あいつらを悩ませてやろうじゃないか
Make it. You need to make it so that they're the ones worrying.
僕も手を貸すよ
I'll even lend a hand.
悩むのは
I'm not the one who worries.
私じゃなくて
あいつらの方さ
That's for them to do. Okay.
地獄の悪魔もひれ伏して絶句する
It's about time they learned the true terror of the Golden Witch Beatrice. The true terror of Beatrice. Alright.
最悪の密室トリックを無限に使いこな
The
す
one who can create endless
無
closed
限の魔女
rooms
ベアトリーチェの本
of
当
the
の恐ろ
horrific
しさ
kind.
そろそろ連中
Tricks
も
that
思
can
い出
make
して
even
も
the
いいか
demons of hell prostrate themselves in shock.
バトラさんの密室よりも最悪の密室
A closed room more horrific than Battler songs? Well, that's your goal now. Get to it. Get to it. We don't have all day. Create something of legendary proportions. Go, go, go.
僕らはもうそれを手に入れてるじゃないか
We already got our hands on one, haven't we?
最悪の
A horrific
密
closed room?
室
Wow. In the back of Beato's mind, images she remembered began flitting by one after another. The mansion, the guest house, the rose garden. Trick, mistake, lure, taunt, trap, laugh together. Do you know about this trick? I think I've seen something like it in a book before. Beato's eyes opened wider and wider. Countless lights circled around her, swallowing her up.
あともう一個
And one more thing.
何です？
それ密室の魔女の喋り方にはふさわしくないな
That's no way for the Witch of Closed Rooms to talk.
やっぱり私は
After all, I must be... E. The marriage ceremony ended without any problems, and the reception was held inside the cathedral. As the goat demons partied raucously, Delanor could be seen leaning against a pillar trying to escape from the noise. Then Gertrude appeared and whispered some kind of report to her.
それは本当です
It's
か？
true.
近景
Allow me to speak.
現在コーネリア補佐官が現場保全に向かいたるものなり
Aid Cornelia is currently headed towards the
やエ
scene.
リカ教にも中心すべきかと存じ上げ奉る
I suggest Lady Erika be contacted as well.
わかりました。
Understood.
ご中心申し上げます。
I will tell her.
ガートルードは式典警備長に連絡です。
Gertrude, contact the head of ceremony
準
security.
戦闘配備。
Prepare for battle.
御意
As you wish.
ご歓談中失礼いたします
Apologies for
本
interrupting
式
your
典
chat.
警備長であります
I'm in charge of security for the ceremony.
私？
Is it me?
何？なんかよ。
You want something?
だからはしゃぎすぎだって言ったのよ
Told you you were going too
さす
far.
がにシャンパンタワーでボーリングはやりすぎだわ
Champagne Tower bowling was always a bad idea. What do you mean a bad idea? That actually sounds funny.
少し油を絞られてきなさい
Looks like it's time for a scolding.
ち ベルンこら
Hey, Bird! Bird!
もう何よ私なんかした
What's going on? Did I do something?
受付に差出人不明のラムダデルタ教宛てと記された封筒が届けられました。
The reception desk received an envelope from an unknown sender addressed to Lady Lambda Delta. Oh?
私非通知と差出人不明は全部ポイしちゃう主義なの
Always ignore anonymous calls and letters. Oh, then you should probably ignore this one too.
そんなの捨てちゃって
Throw it away.
それが
But please, look
これ
at
な
this.
のですが、
何それ
What's that?
これ届いたことは誰かに言っ
Did
た
you tell anyone you received this? Not yet.
いえ、受付の姉妹兵2名と私のみです。
No, only the two sisters at the reception desk and I
すで
know.
に観光令を与えました。
They've been ordered to keep quiet. The instant she saw the envelope, Lambda Delta snatched it away and lowered her voice. Byrne Castell had walked away and was apparently making fun of Erika. Byrne and of course Erika were both drunk. If they were left alone, they'd probably forget about this. So, did they just skip the scene where she screws the ring on? Okay. Or is this a prologue? Maybe it's a prologue. But Erika wasn't drunk? For the scene with Battler. Slightly confusing what's going on, but alright, whatever. It's true that the envelope has no sender written on it. However, that seal done on it in gold leaf fulfills the same purpose. This seal is... Lambda Delta hid behind a pillar and ripped the window open, the envelope open. Took out its contents and read them. Her eyes instantly started glinting, and she smiled like a kid who's just thought of a nasty trick.
いかがしますか。
What's to
狙
be done?
撃班は赤色弾頭を携行しています。
Red sniper teams carrying red warheads. And
ご許可をいただければ装填命令を出します。
if you give your permission, I'll give the order to load them. All right.
何言ってんのよ
What are you talking about?
今日はどんだけ豪華な来賓が来てると思ってんの
You realize how important those guests are?
万一参列者に流れ弾が当たったら
A stray bullet hits one of these attendants.
シエスタこの得体の新しい妹たちは向こう10年は工場から弾頭台に直行しなきゃなんないくらいの責任になるのよ
All the new Shiester sisters will be sent straight for the factory to the guillotine for the next 10 years.
了解。通常弾頭で対応するであります。
Understood. We'll intercept them with regular warheads.
煉獄の7姉妹には監視をつけますか。
Shall we post watches around the seven sisters of Purgatory?
いるわけないでしょだ
Why do we need those?
って7組はバトラのそして今やエリカの家具じゃない
After all, the seven stakes are Eric battlers and now Erika's furniture.
どうして味方に監視をつけちゃうの
Why do we post watches around our own allies?
とにかく警備をまあそこそこにちゃちゃっと厳重
Just
にしなさい
make sure security is nice and tight.
先ほどガートルード上席補佐官より準戦闘配備勧告を受けました。
Just now, we received a recommendation from Assistant Inquisitor Gertrude suggesting we make preparations for battle.
理由は不明であります。
Her reasons are unknown.
ガートルードが
From Gertrude?
じゃあ勧告に従っちゃいなさい
Follow that recommendation. Looking forward
パ
to
ーティ
something?
ーは賑やかな方がいいってことでしょ
Party is a lot more fun once you liven things up.
了解であります。
Understood. Here it comes.
WO よりシエスタ17、シエスタ38、シエスタ45、コード R、警戒発令。
00 calling Chester 17, 3845, code R. Be on your guards. We got trouble brewing? Trouble brewing at a wedding ceremony, no way. I swear, it's like the most terrifying thing. You have a wedding ceremony in any kind of media and you're just like, so this goes badly in about 1 second, right? It never goes well.
レベル2で待機を伝達。
Transmitting level 2 alert.
17コピー。
17 copy, although this one was quite heavily foreshadowed, so if you miss this one, you're probably blind.
38コピー。
38 copy.
45了解。
45 understood. 45 has a personality, I
そこ
guess.
でコピーといえばかっこいいのにね。
It'd have been so much cooler if you said copy to 2. Yeah.
焦っちゃってつい。
I just got nervous.
そうそう45。
Alright. Alright.
ちょっとこっち来て。
45, come over here for a second.
なんです
What is it?
ちょっと任務中です。
We're on the job. Oh. You're on the job and now you're playing games? Don't play with my ears. Oh, it's just her ears. It's just her ears.
耳
Your ears?
おっとくに。
Better fold them down.
なんですって。
What did you say?
冗談でしょ。
You're kidding, right?
ありえない。
It's impossible.
現在コーネリアを向かわせています。
Cornelia is headed there now.
ベアトリーチェがここを襲撃する可能性が極めて大です。
The odds of Beatrice attacking here are extremely high.
披露宴は中断されて退避されることを進言いたします。
I recommend suspension of the reception and evacuating. Evacuation now? But we just started the party! No, don't ruin it.
どうしたのエリカ。
What's going on, Erika? Trouble, that's what.
何か余興に手違いでも。
Something wrong with the entertainment?
いいえ、我が主。どうぞ引き続き披露宴をお楽しみください。
Please continue enjoying the reception.
あ、誰か。
Cheers. Hey, somebody
ベルンカステル卿に梅干しワインのおかわりを。
get Lady Berncastel some more dried plum wine. Erika didn't have time to hide her agitation. When Berncastel saw this, she knew their final late guest had finally arrived. She's like, at last.
ルシネ、
Lucine?
ゲストハウスで動きがあったそうよ。
Here, there's been some movement in the guest house.
ゲストハウス？
Guest
ゲー
house.
ム版のことなんか今はくだらない
Who
話だ。
cares about the game board now?
それが
Well,
密室のいとこ部屋からカノン君が失踪したって。
saying Canon-kun disappeared from the cousin room.
はあ？
What?
あんた分かってんの？
Are you a
いとこ
moron?
部屋は扉も窓も完璧に封印されてる完全密室じゃない。
The cousin room is a perfect closed room with the door and all the windows perfectly
失
sealed.
踪なんて不可能だわ。
It's impossible for him to escape.
いや、私も裏を取ってきた。
No, I've been snooping at that as well. There's no mistake.
カノンはいとこ部屋より姿を消して
Canon
いる。
disappeared from the cousin room. He's a slippery fellow.
いとこ部屋のどこかに隠れてるとか、
He's probably somewhere in the cousin
ある
room.
いは最初からうまくごまかして、もともと部屋に入ってなかったとか。
Or he was never in the room to begin with, perhaps?
不可能だわ。
It's impossible. Impossible.
いとこ部屋にはエリカ卿が読み上げた特定個人数名以外の全員が
It's been
入ってることが
guaranteed.
保証されてるのよ。
It's a guarantee that everyone's in the cousin room except the specific names Erika read aloud back then.
ごまかして逃れることは不可能だわ。
It's impossible for him to trick his way out of there.
どうやってユングフラウの封印結果よ。
How do you get past the Jungfrau barrier seal? How did he get past the Jungfrau barrier seal?
いや、それよりカノンは一体ど
First
こ
of
に？
all, where on earth is Canon?
至急探しなさい。
Find him at once! At that moment, the cathedral suddenly went black. The surprised commotion of the guests filled the cathedral.
来たわね。
She's here.
WO よりオールシエスタ。
00, calling all
コード R
siesters.
警戒。
Code R alert!
シエスタ17。電源系統回復は
Siester 17. Can you repair the electrical systems? Negative.
管理室スタッフとの通信が途絶中。
Communications with management staff have been severed.
オールシエスタコードレッド。
All siesters, code
ロッ
red!
クンロール。
Rock and roll!
コピー。
コピー
Copy.
コピ
Copy.
了解じゃなくてコピー
Understood. I mean, copy. The sniper teams and the chandeliers all released their safeties at once. The entire security team down in the hall loaded their ammunition.
エリカ卿、控室へ退避を。
Lady Erika, let's evacuate to the waiting
こ
room.
こは危険です。
It's dangerous here.
何が危険なんです
That's dangerous.
この世界の領主は私です
I'm territorial lord of this
そ
world.
の私が何に怯えて逃げろと言うんです
Why should I have to run in fear?
ガートルード、要人警護結界準備。
Gertrude, set up a VIP guard barrier.
コーネリアを至急呼び戻すのです。
Call Cornelia back here at once.
緊急対応中なり結界
A
あ
barrier?
んたらの無残までみっともない結界で婚礼衣装の私を包もうってんですか
I need to be wrapped in one of your pitiful, pathetic barriers where I'm wearing a wedding
あ
dress.
んたら侮辱
Insulting. Disturbance made even Battler groan as he sat in the next seat over like a doll. Even with his soul sealed, Battler probably realized that something strange was going on.
遅かったじゃない
She's late, right,
ラム
Lambda?
ダ
そうね。
Probably.
待ちくたびれちゃったわね。
He kept us waiting.
さっきのあれ
What was that just now?
誰からのラブレター
A love letter from someone?
ファンレターよ。
A fan letter.
ラムダちゃんファンクラブの。
A Lambda Chan fan club. Lambda Delta played dumb and munched some popcorn. And then the lights finally turned on. Alright, long last, we can see. Praise the sun. It was clear that during the blackout, Beatrice had snuck in somewhere nearby, potentially even inside the cathedral itself. The whispering demon attendants all realized it as well. Whose scheme was this? What were they doing? Though this may have been imprudent, they were looking forward to this, and an excited chatter filled the cathedral.
来たみたいね
Looks like she came.
カープ
God.
あなたもう戻ってきていいんですか
He let you come back too?
私にほら牢屋って意味ないし
Come on, putting me in jail is pointless.
確かに
True, true. It is GOP after all. The prison is not really going to hold her, is it? It's a moderate inconvenience at best.
でもリーチェ
But reach it.
バトラの密室もいとこ部屋も
Battler's closed room, the cousin room.
そして唯一可能性のあった隣部屋も全て封じられてしまった
And even the final possibility of the next room over have all been sealed.
どうやってバトラを救い出す気な
How
の
are you planning to save Battler? Guess you'll find
お嬢
out.
様が
Let's suppose.
何かのトリック X を用意できたと仮定
The
し
lady
ましょう
found some trick X.
となれば
If so,
それをエリカ卿に突きつけるべく乗り込んでくるは必死
you'd inevitably have to march in here to thrust that in Lady Erika's face.
しかしこの大勢のシエスタ兵た
But
ちが
against
相
all
手
the
では
Siesta troops. I mean, if you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
まさかこんなに隠れていたなんて
I can't believe this many of them were hiding here.
無理だわ縫い殺されてしまう
Impossible, she'll be sewn to death. When has a little death ever hurt Beatrice? She'll be fine. Rabbit ears dashed all about the hall. Incredible that she could remain hidden and unnoticed with so many people about.
エリカに一度だけ肉薄するチャンスがあれば五分の勝負までは持ち込
If
め
she
る
can get close enough to challenge Erika, she should be able to give herself an even fight.
なるほどその手ですか
I see that move.
しかし
However,
そのアイテムをお嬢様がお持ちだといいのですが
does Milady have that item with her?
いつも面倒くさがって
She always
いくらご
complains,
用意しても嫌われていましたからな
dislikes it when I prepare them for her.
やれやれ
My, my.
最後まで世話の焼けるお嬢
She's a
様
troublesome one to the end. Amid the crowd, Ronove took something out and showed it. When Virgilia saw, she understood what that in his hand meant. True, with that, it would be possible to stop the attacks from the Siesta troops.
まあエリカに聞かなきゃそれまでだけどね
Well, if it doesn't work on Erika, we're through.
問題はたった一度でもいいからエリカの真正面まで行けるかだわ。
Problem is getting her in front of Erika, if only for a
シ
second.
エスタたちはそれを断固阻止するはずよ。
Yes, Shiesters will probably prevent that with all they have.
リーアなら
Leah,
その時間をプレゼントできそうね。
think you can gain her that time? Virgilia gave her a small nod. However, the problem was the two Shiester troops standing at her back. Since the time she tried to jump out in front of the procession, she had been marked constantly. It was possible with Virgilia's vast magical power to momentarily take out all the Shiester troops in this cathedral. That would gain a short bit of time, but it would be enough to confront Erika. The Shiester troops knew this, so they kept a close eye on Virgilia with tense faces. At that moment, the great cathedral door was blasted to bits. The fragments became bright gold butterflies which danced across the room in a beautiful blizzard of gold leaf. That golden storm slowly faded away. And then, at the entrance to that red-carpeted path to the grave, a calm, majestic figure was...
警護隊射殺せよ
Guards, shoot to kill.
ネガティブ身元照合中
Negative, conducting identity comparison. Delano ordered the guards to shoot the intruder right away, but Shiester's 00 didn't respond. Was it because she'd been warned about shooting the guests? And was afraid of the consequences of possibly shooting a drunk guest pulling some kind of prank? No, 00 just was coolly and calmly carrying out her duties.
おやこれはてっきりご欠席かと思っていましたよ
Surprise, and I thought you weren't gonna make it. The pair faced each other from either end of the long red carpet. However, in between them stood several dozen Shiester honor guards.
最高の来賓であるあなたがお越しにならないので
Took you quite some time to arrive, honored guest.
ご心配申し上げておりましたとも
Gentleman always arrives late to get noticed. Although I don't know if Beatrice counts. But hey, at least you'll stand out, right? You had us all
でも
worried?
せめて披露宴には間に合ってよかった
Glad you managed to make it to the reception at least. Just a smile. Beato laughed, and that chuckle made Battler's eyes quiver slightly.
お前は
You.
待たせたなフルドエリカ
Did I keep you waiting, Furudo Erika?
祝福に来たぜ
Well, I'm here to celebrate. She had an overpowering and evil presence about her, strong enough to make anyone shiver. Was there really any need to confirm her identity now? Who else could possess such an overwhelming presence?
ベアトリーチェー
Che is separate? The Che was separate?
地獄で会おうぜはわらわ
Meet again in
の
hell.
別れの挨拶言葉であるが
Let's meet again in hell is a favorite parting line of mine, but
身元確認
identity confirmed.
大ベアトリーチェ教徒確認
It's the great Lady Beatrice. That's great, you figured it out.
まさにここがそうだぜ
This time it really did happen.
フルドエリカ
Furudo Erika? Okay. Are you gonna... Alright. With dramatic announcement, I'm ready. You can tell things are happening. The heroic music is playing. At that moment, the two Shiester troops standing behind Virgilia slumped over and fell to the floor. Ronove had touched the bases of their big ears from behind. It was clear he applied some sort of magic. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say, their ears are so sensitive, just touching them instantly incapacitates them. That was kind of funny.
どなたかお医者様を
Someone find a doctor.
お嬢さん方が貧血のようだ。
Poor girls, they appear to be ill. I'm afraid I'm not able to supply that help.
オールシエスタオープンファイ
All Siestras open fire!
ヤーベアト今です
So now. An instant before the Siestra troops could fire, Virgilia raised her arms to the heavens. Her magical power, more than enough to remind all present what her name had meant at the height of her strength, became a spirit wave that exploded through the cathedral, and its shockwave made the stained glass windows shatter. Colorful glass poured down everywhere.
冷戦防御復旧急げ
Spirit wave part warfare defenses, hurry on, reboot! However, all the Siestra honor guards who didn't have spirit particle defenses toppled over like dolls. The ceiling snipers were defended and able to avoid a crash, but it would take several minutes before the system could be rebooted. That span of time should be enough to reach Erika. However, it wouldn't be possible to defeat Erika in a few minutes. There's no way they'd be able to carry battle away in that time. What else would they use this precious time for? Beato dashed down the red carpeted path. She ran down the path to the grave, lined by Siestro troops lying like corpses. She called this place hell, and in that case, running from hell to the grave was actually going backwards. Beato's figure dashing through the corpse-ridden path truly symbolized her resurrection.
お嬢様、これを。
Milady, take this.
もらうぞ
Got it. As she dashed, she snatched something white from Ronave's outstretched hand, and there was no longer anyone blocking her path to Erika. However, at that instant, a gold thread came from in front of her and rapidly sewed through the red carpet towards her like a sewing machine.
Oh,
we have a mother. Who might you be?
再装填完了データ要求に
Reloading complete, requesting data.
射撃用レーダー補足
Firing target. Firing radar targeted.
410へデータリンク
Data link to 410. We're going places. 410 was clever. He predicted Virgilia would go for a spirit particle attack and folded her ears and 45s over beforehand. So they were the only ones who weren't taken out.
射撃
Firing! Once again, a golden sewing thread chased after Beato, weaving like a sewing machine. It was as though an undulating golden snake was shooting after her.
こしゃくな
Such impudence.
エリカとの一騎打ちの貴重な時間を邪魔しよって
You mean to delay my precious showdown with Erika? That appears to be the case. Beato jumped sideways away from the red carpet, then dashed across the long table covered with beautiful food. The gold snake chased her, sewing through the pure white tablecloth like a sewing machine, scattering dishes left and right. The goat attendants ran about wildly trying to escape. The cathedral was wrapped in pandemonium.
霊視攻撃を避けていたウサギがいたなんて
Can't believe some of those rabbits evaded the spirit particle attack.
まずい。
This is
あんな
bad.
ところに陣取られてはどうにもなりま
If
せ
they
ん。
take up that position, there's nothing we can do. A pair of snipers attacking from the chandelier high above were much further away than Erika was, too far for Beato to reach. Furthermore, their position landed the entire cathedral inside their range of fire.
お気の毒にベアトリーチェ様
Too bad, yeah.
こ
Beatrice
の
sama.
試練は過酷に
The trials of love are harsh. Wait, aren't they able to shoot literally anywhere? Why would they not be in the range of fire for anything? The trials of love are harsh.
45追加弾
5, new magazine!
これ
Oh, you mean this? Gop handed her the magazine. 45 always handed them over backwards, so 410 was a bit confused to have one handed to her the right way up. Gop's got you.
にえにえにえ離すにえ
Let's go, let's go! She'll just keep mewing it. No matter how distant the position they may take, it was no problem for the elusive Gop. Well, that's okay. Gop twisted their long ears up, tickled them with their thumbs. You thought Ronave was a shield master? There is no defense that can be taken against the twins firing arrows at you. Their magical golden threads pierce all defenses and can't be dodged. The only thing they can do is somehow miss. That is how the story goes at any rate. The other choice is you can cut it down, but you need to specifically be 2 pieces of furniture, Shannon and Cannon. Nothing else was possible. Ronove is a master of shields, and there is no barrier that can resist their attacks. So Ronove can't actually do too much here. At least. Yo, guns be guns, basically. The Gop twisted their long ears up, then tickled them with her thumbs. Well, that's sure to be fatal. The Shiester's greatest weapon was also their greatest weakness. The two doubled over with laughter. Ah, laughter. Well, I got these two. How many seconds do we have left? The answer is not that much. Yes, the other Siesters will be reactivating. Well then, you'd best hurry. The other chandeliers, on the other chandeliers, even more powerful Siesters were slowly starting to move again. They're rebooting! It would be impossible to buy any more time. Well, you better hurry. Gop! Thanks, I'm in your debt. Where's the Gop portal? Surely a gap portal would be more useful to just warp to your destination, but okay. I felt like a gap portal to just warp to your destination would be like the most useful thing. Beato, good luck, hang in there. You don't have much time. There's talking now. The golden butterflies appear at weird intervals here. If you don't believe in guns, they can't hurt you. True, true. After all, without love, they can't be seen, and what you can't see can't hurt you.
Erika!
Beato cut through the crowd of scampering goats like Moses. Her goal was straight in front of her, the place where Erika and Battler were seated. Then a red barrier took form, blocking her path. It was the VIP guarding barrier Gertrude had set up. She stepped forward and laid out a last line of defense to block Beato's path. Let it be known you will get no closer. That wasn't in red. You think a wall like that could stop me? How long until the Siesters reactivate? In 30 seconds. As the oldest of the 7 sisters of Purgatory, Lucifer stood in waiting behind the bride and groom. She wanted to save Beato. If she could just distract Gertrude for a moment, the wall would disappear. However, the 7 sisters were furniture. They served the territory lord, so they couldn't move to help Beato. Delanar glanced over at Lucifer. There was a corrosive tint to her eyes. You are not allowed to move except by the orders of your master. Who's our master? It's Erika now, idiot. No, our master is Battler-sama. Erika only speaks on his behalf. That's right, One-sama. Whose furniture are we? Let's just dig in. Swamp. The red absolute barrier flickered for just an instant. Feels of stake pierced Gertrude's shoulder and her concentration wavered. Hey now, pay attention, Gertrude. This could be important. But it didn't break. Slowly and expressionlessly, Gertrude turned to look at Lucifer. By whose orders? Know that Lady Erika made no such order? We do have orders.
我らが主の命令よ。
The orders of our master.
物言えぬ主に何を命令できるというなりや。
How can a master who cannot speak give orders?
物聞かずとも
Even though he can't talk?
それを察するが、家具の道と見つけたり。
That's understanding a master's will is the furniture's job?
なら
Then it can't be helped.
やむもなし。
The seven stakes shot Gertrude at once. Gertrude chose to take all the direct attacks, refusing to abandon the barrier until the last moment. Though she was resilient enough to be called a literal Iron Maiden and receive no damage at all, it was more than enough to make her flinch and lose control of the barrier.
上出来だ。我が家具たち。
Beato shot through the scattered red fragments of the barrier, and she was finally right in front of the bride, her rival Erika. However, there stood the final shield protecting Erika. Death sentence to Leonor.
遅いです。
You're too late.
もはや時間切れです。ベアトリチェ卿。
Time's already up, Lady Beatrice.
シエスタ17よりオールシエスタへデータリンク。
Yes, sir, 17. Data link to all
内見シエ
siesters.
スタよりデータ入電。誘導方式。氷結型概念誘導。
Incoming data from Archangel Satellite. Homing format. Verdict model conceptual guidance. Well, that's a
シエ
mouthful.
スタ20再起動完了。
Yeah, poor Gop. Could be MVP, but plot makes people dumb. Yes, sir, 20. Reactivation complete.
シエスタ127再起動完了。
Chester 127. Reactivation complete. Time's up.
タイムオーバーに。そこらめ。
No, not there! Not there! No!
リーチェ
Nietzsche.
幸運を。
Good luck. They're all awake. Got a plan? Battler. I'm waiting for the text to scroll. It's really slow.
そう。
Oh.
ドラロール。
Glad.
どけドラノール・エーノックス。
Back off, Delanor Enox.
そなたの出番はない。
This isn't your fight.
あなたを否定する赤き真実をベルンカステル教より賜っています。
I've received a red truth denying you from Lady Berncastel.
ここがあなたの墓場となり、残
I'm
念です。
afraid this will be your grave. I don't know what Berncastel has allowed her to say. However, I don't need to sit around and let that longsword tell me.
そなたとは後でたっぷりと遊
Play
ん
with
で
you
や
all
る
you want later.
だが今はどけ。
But for now, back off. There's no time. The Siesters already finished reactivating. I'm only living on borrowed time.
聞くのはあなたの方です。
You'll be the one to retreat.
出番を間違えた哀れな出演者があなたです。
You're a pitiable actor who chose the wrong time to make an appearance. Delanor's red longsword cut a large arc of absolute denial, which headed straight for the crown of Beato's head. In that instant, there was a thunk and the curve missed slightly. Beato didn't let this good fortune go to waste. She slipped past the longsword, knocked Delanor aside, and finally stood in front of Erika. And this time, not a single person stood in her way.
これは
This
ポップコーン。
popcorn?
どこから。
Where did this come from?
緊急花嫁警護役より緊急要請。
Here's a request from
シエスタ姉
bodyguard
妹
team.
近衛隊は直ちに侵入者を射殺したてまつれ。
Let the Siester Sisters Imperial Guards fire at the intruder immediately. The commotion quieted. However, no one shot. Popcorn's OP, guys. Please nerf. Why? They could have shot if they wanted to. All the Siester troops had completely targeted her and removed their safeties. All of them had finished reactivating. However, they hesitated to pull the trigger.
なぜ射殺せぬことなりや。
Why aren't they shooting?
式典警備役は直ちに。
Let the ceremony guards immediately.
待つのです。
Wait.
あれは
Look at that. Glenor's expression grew grim. Then she quietly put her red longsword away. After all, Erika would have to make a decision. If she decided to ignore it, they could shoot to kill. However, if Erika picked that up, they must not do so. They couldn't pull the triggers until Erika decided.
どうして誰も撃たないの?
Why won't anyone shoot?
よく見なさいよ、あれ。
Look closely. What are we looking closely
ベア
at?
トがエリカに投げつけたあれよ。
See what Beato just threw at Erika? Lambda Delta pointed, still chomping down popcorn. It was hard to see. Lambda Delta, why do you have popcorn, Lambda Delta? Very curious. It was hard to see from the balcony. Beato threw something like a white handkerchief at Erika, and it had fallen to her feet. What was the white thing?
わかってるわ、あいつ。
She really knows what she's doing, that girl.
主役ってもんを本当によくわかってるわ。
She knows what it means to be the main character.
面白い
How
じゃないですか。
interesting. The thing that hit Erika in the face and fell to the floor was a white glove that Beato had gotten from Runaway. Hitting someone with a glove like that could only mean one thing. It's...
ゼタル、
What?
これは何？
What's this?
どういう意味な
What
の？
does it mean?
これは
What this is?
決闘の申し込みさ。
Request for a duel! We just officiated one! What perfect
手
timing!
袋を拾えばそれを受け入れることを意味する。
If she picks up the glove, it means she's accepted.
拾わなければシエスタたちが殺してくれるわ。
And if she doesn't, the Siesters will
拾
shoot.
う必要ないじゃない。
Why would she pick it up?
拾わなくてもいいさ。
But she doesn't have to.
でも決闘を逃げたおめえを僕らと参列の悪魔処刑は3回すべてに知らしめるだろうね。
However, we in the demon attendants would probably spread the word far and wide that she ran away from a duel.
恋の決闘を逃げた臆病者の名を永遠にね。
She'd be known far and wide for eternity as a coward who ran from a duel of love. Officiated by two demons. To hold a wedding ceremony officiated by the demons of love feels bad. Beatrice waited firmly and composedly. If Erika just kicked it away, then at that very instant the Siestras would probably all fire at once, turning her into golden embroidery. Not just Swiss cheese, it's golden embroidery. So if Erika didn't have to pick it up. However, she couldn't afford to be afraid of picking it up. After all, she was the true victor who defeated Battler's closed room trick and logic. If she's the victor, she'd have nothing to fear. Alright. I don't really get how this is a challenge for Erika, considering her personality, shown so far, has been the type to just say fuck you, I'll do what I want. So she would naturally just kick it away and let her die, but plot's going to happen. So she was afraid of doing it, it would prove she felt a tinge of doubt about her victory.
拾わなけれ
If I don't
ば
pick it up?
私はこの衣装を汚すことなくあんたを殺してしまいますね。
I can kill you without getting these clothes dirty.
それも披露宴の余興には面白い。
That would probably liven up your reception.
だが、
However, you will
そ
pick
な
it
た
up.
は拾うさ。
へえ、
Oh,
どうしてです？
why is that?
わらわがそなたにぴったりの最高の土産を持ってきたから
Why,
だ。
I brought a wonderful gift, just
そ
perfect
な
for
たは
you.
それが知り
You
た
wanna know what it is?
い。だから拾うさ。
You'll pick it up.
興味ないです。さよ
Not
うなら
interested. Goodbye.
拾うさ。
You'll pick
わ
it
ら
up.
わが持ってきた
I know.
バトラの客室などくだらぬ。
You want to hear about the closed room I brought you?
もっとシンプルで単純で。
Unlike that trivial guest room of battlers.
絶対に解けぬ密室を
Is simple. Basic.
そなたは聞きたいはずさ。
And absolutely unsolvable.
絶
A
対
closed room?
解けぬ
That absolutely
密室。
can't be solved?
そなたはわらわの挑戦を受けたいはずさ。
I know you want to accept my challenge.
なぜなら
After all,
そなたは
you're
探偵だからだ。
the detective. Erika threw off her wedding dress as though it were a cape. Yes. Before she is a bride or a piece or a witch, she's one thing first and foremost.
私は探偵です。
I'm the
あなた
detective.
を私の対戦相手に認めます。
I acknowledge you as my opponent.
ただ、あなたはこのゲームに登場する資格
However,
を
are you qualified to participate in this game? We're throwing out rules left, right, and center. Isn't this
ロ
fun?
ジックエラーは修正
Have
で
you
き
managed
た
to
んでし
fix
ょうね。
the logic error?
その手袋を拾えば
If you pick the
そ
glove
な
up,
たとの戦いの中でそれが修正できたことを証
I'll
明しよ
prove I've
う。
fixed it in my fight against you.
くっと
Good. The cathedral was filled with chatter. Erika had picked up the glove. A duel! A duel! The cathedral was wrapped in a bizarre excitement. At Erika's nod, Delanar pushed the crowd away, leaving the pair alone. People were permitted to witness this duel. However, no one would be allowed to interfere in any way.
バトラさん、大丈夫です。
Okay. Battler-san,
あなたを助ける方法はもう見つけました。
I've already found a way to save you. You don't have to do anything, you just gotta be saved by Beato. Oh, my bailout is a bailout.
どうやって
Oh,
今、あなたを助け出します。もうしばらくだけ辛抱してください。
hang in there a little longer. Beato's resolute expression returned, and she grinned boldly, looking down on Erika. Ah, there can be no doubt. The expression worn only by the Golden Witch. The presence of the Master of Closed Rooms. A shadow dashed through the stormy rose garden. Have we had this track play before? I'm not sure we have. It was incredibly swift and light. The raindrops never touched him. He made no splashes in the countless puddles. His feet left no tracks in the mud. The rushing figure was Canon. He ran upstairs. The entrance of the mansion. He did not slow down in the slightest to open the door. He ran straight at it as though trying to break through and leapt into it. Though the door was shut, even that couldn't stop Canon. He slipped through the door, fell into the entryway, and slowly stood up. His body wasn't even wet. Well, that's what being a ghost does to you. As he recalled those nostalgic days spent serving the Ashiramiya family which would never come again, he ran once more. He was headed for Battler's guest room. He ran past the servant room. He ran through the entry hall. He even passed the door to the parlor. The door to the kitchen and the dining hall came into sight. All of it brings back fond memories. But there was the honor and rigidity of serving Kinzo directly. However, that man wasn't rigid all the time. When the family was out of sight and he didn't have to preserve the air of majesty, his face could turn unbelievably childish, and he'd sometimes ask me to take part in strange pranks. The master let me shoot lots of guns, didn't he? That was pretty fun. Kraus-sama was actually surprisingly kind. He must have gotten the impression that the master bullied me a lot. Whenever I was the only one around, he'd talk to me in a very familiar way, almost as though he was a classmate of mine. I sort of regret I held back and never did anything but nod in return. Madam was a really strict person. Ever since the rumor went around saying she was strict on female servants but soft towards male servants, I get the feeling she viewed me as an enemy. However, she was also a woman to be pitied. I've seen her alone. I noticed her shoulders sag with the pain many times. There were a lot of servants, weren't there? Some lasted a short while, others stayed a long time. Genji-sama was the one person I might have called my father. I'm both grateful and resentful towards him over many, many things. They all mix together, cancel out, and I end up with a neutral emotion. In that case, Kumasawa could probably be called my mother. She's helped me out many, many times. Canon, do us a favor. List off all the guns Kinzo let you shoot. What's Kinzo's gun collection like? All we know is that he's got guns. Some of which are Winchesters. We could use some more interesting information, like the exact models and makes. Or more specifically, what cartridges they fire. No particular reason. Just gonna be doing just making some deny the rituals here, don't mind me. I always wanted to repay her someday. And now that I've lost that chance for all time, well. Shannon is my Nason. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to be me. Thanks for teaching me that the ocean is blue. Goda? No, I hate that guy. Fuck him. I guess so. Still, when I complimented his stew, he'd sometimes turn red and say there was enough for seconds. I didn't dislike that part of him. I wonder why such a strong memory popped up in the instant I ran past the dining hall. And then, my memories of Jessica. Technically, she's the loser in the game, so she's actually dead right now. Oh, it's a boy servant. How old are you? I think those were the first words she spoke to me. Ugh, a boy servant. Come to think of it, she was probably interested in me ever since then. I really did have enough time to build up a love that wouldn't lose to George, Sama, and Shannon's. But since I could only see the gray sea, I wasted almost all that time. What did she like about me? What do I like about her? I get the feeling we never really made that clear. Nah, she told me. We should have stayed together longer to eventually find that out. It would have been fine to find reasons for our love later. It took me far too long to realize that. And now I think I can accept it. Little late for that, my dude. Little late for that. I know why Shannon won the duel. With the power of love, it could be seen. Yo, God must have been watching, I see. You had so much more courage than I did, and God didn't abandon you. I reached the hallway with the guest rooms. There was someone lying on the ground. It was Battler. He was just lying outside the guest room, a chain tied to his neck. Probably struggled to do something with the chain lock outside until he lost consciousness. His fingernails on both hands had been torn off and they were stained with blood. I could tell at a glance just how hard he had tried until the final moment when his heart had died. The collar binding him wouldn't disappear unless the chain lock was set. Battler-sama. It's alright. I'm gonna save you now. Battler nodded faintly. He probably hadn't even imagined that help would come to this eternal closed room. He was so scared this might be an auditory hallucination, but being brought about by a fleeting delusion, he couldn't bear to open his eyes easily. Cannon grabbed Battler by the arms and dragged him into the room. And the door, the inside of the room was terrible. Oh, that bad? The windows had been brutally shattered and the wind and rain had made its way inside. All kinds of tools and furniture lay broken there. However, Battler hadn't smashed them out of rage. The curtain had been removed, torn and twisted into a bundle. He'd probably used trial and error to see if that could be used as a rope for some trick. He tried using everything in the room, exploring all possible options of escape. Traces could be seen throughout the room and even in the bathroom. The empty bathtub was stained with just a bit of blood, and the nippers lay there on the bottom. To protect this tale, he'd nearly been prepared to accept Berncastell's brutal method of escape. Cutting himself into pieces, washing himself down the drain. He was willing to tear apart his own body to protect the game Beato entrusted him with, but he had probably questioned himself over and over in his bathtub, wondering if there's any other way out. Hasn't it only been like 10 minutes? By the clock of the game world, not even a single day had passed. However, how many years had it been in a closed room with a logic error? When faced with endless spans of time, any way of ending it, no matter how cruel, is tempting. However, he rejected that until the very end. And even the last moment when his heart died, he wanted so much to show his iron will to escape this closed room. He chose to fall here in the corridor. The chain still around his neck. Battler-sama, it's canon. Please come to your senses. He wiped Battler's face with a towel, wet it in the sink. His response to that cold sensation, Battler's heart slowly started beating again. It's you. Battler. Yes, Battler's throat seems very dry. Miki Cannon. You did well. Thanks for the drink. Delicious. It's Miki Cannon. You did well to endure until today. Looks like you couldn't solve it. Looks like I slipped in. Yeah. If Ryukishi takes over as writer for Silent Hill, oh my god. The fucking essays. The main story of the next Silent Hill game will unironically be like 300 hours long. 300. Actually, no. He makes his games longer by the game. It'll probably be 600 hours to beat Silent Hill. 600. It's gonna be absolutely mental. Like, it's probably gonna set a record for longest game in existence. That actually involves quote-unquote playing. Because there has to be actual gameplay in Silent Hill 2. It's 600 hours of reading and text. There's gonna presumably also be gameplay, so it's gonna add like another 10. Not that that matters too much. Looks like I was left in. I guess we're ignoring the plot. I guess we're ignoring the plot of The Ring. They kind of just ditched that because reasons, I guess. As I recall, Battler's soul is permanently sealed inside the ring for all eternity, and he can't even attempt to escape the room anymore. But, plot. Looks like I slept in. Alright. We just needed Cannon to say hi. Looks like I slept in just a little too much. Battler realized the feel of the towel on his neck meant that the crashed collar and chain were gone. There's nothing binding you here. Come on. Head back quickly. If I unset the chain lock, the chain will come back. Nah, fam, I'm in the room now. We good. We Gucci. Don't worry. No longer does any chain exist to bind you, Battler-sama. I'll remain here. What did you say? By now, Battler knew the terror of this endless closed room better than anyone else. He was more filled with shock than happiness, shock at the determination of one willing to become the new prisoner. I'll be fine. There's no need to worry. But Battler-sama, isn't there something you still have to do? Go back quickly.
あなたの代わりに戦っている
There's
人がい
someone
る。
fighting in your place.
そしてあなたの帰りを
And there's
待
someone
っている
awaiting
人
your
がいる。
return.
あなたはまた
Will you not
帰らないのですか？
go back? His stern words and gaze shot straight through Battler.
本当に
Are you sure?
はい、
Yes.
それでいいんです。
That'll be fine.
これで
This way.
あの時の借りが返せる
This
の
way
で
I
す
can
か？
repay my debt from back then.
借り俺
Debt?
カノン君に何か
You owe me something?
バトラ様の借りではありません。
You aren't the one I
い
owe,
いから言っ
Battler.
てください。
It's okay. Go. Oh, go!
僕は借りを作らない主義なんです。
I don't like being indebted to others.
さあ、早く。
So, go quickly. Alright, we'll vanish from this closed room.
あなたは今度こそ待たせてはいけない
You
んです。
mustn't keep her waiting now. You're even all dressed up for a wedding. You got places to go. People to see.
だか
Got a
ら
waifu.
早く。
Now hurry. Battler couldn't argue back anymore. He silently bowed his head, unset the chain, and opened the door. Cannon remained in the room, so no chain appeared around Battler's neck. He could have left this closed room just by running out. The happy-sounding voices he heard at the far end of the corridor had been replaced with an excited chatter. There must have been some sort of strange disturbance going on. As Cannon went out into the corridor to see me off, the merciless collar and chain already captured their new prisoner. He'd remain inside this endless closed room in Battler's place.
カノン君
Cannon-kun,
俺もだぜ
I feel the same.
何がですか？
About what?
俺も借りを作らない男だぜ
I don't like
こ
keeping
の
debts.
恩は
I'll definitely
必
repay
ず
you.
それも
I'll do it
すぐに
soon.
期待していいやら。さあ、走って。
Well, I hope you can count on that. Go
あ
on,
なた
run.
の愛する人のところへ。
Run to the one you
そ
love.
してどうか、もう二度と迷わないで。
And don't get lost again. Battler didn't turn back again. He ran with everything he had. He ran out of the corridor whose warmth he'd cursed so many times. The cursed chain no longer bound him. He ran to the end of the corridor, beyond the light. Cannon, still connected to the chain, watched him go, then quietly returned to the guest room. Now he only had to worry about his own job. Stay in this room and fix the error in the logic.
これで
And now,
チェーンロックをかけて。
I set the chain lock. As soon as he said it, the chain disappeared from his neck. Then, if he hid in the one place Erika hadn't checked, the broken logic would be fixed. Closet door opened slowly. It was well oiled and opened without a sound. It was cramped inside and dark. This tiny space is the last place I'll see. As long as I remain hidden in here, the logic will be preserved.
簡単な仕事だな。
That's an easy job.
バラの手入れより簡単さ。
Easier than caring for the roses, that's for sure. Yeah, easy. Cannon went in it and closed the double doors from the inside. As soon as he did, a single small gold butterfly appeared, melted into the darkness of the closet, and vanished. It was a sign the logic had been fixed. The witch's game had already stopped, and the clock of the world pieces would never tick again. So for all eternity, no one would come save him from this place.
別にいいさ。
That's okay.
これで借りは返したよ。
This way I've repaid my debt.
ベアトリーチェ。
Beatrice. Beatrice! The power of the gold butterfly brooch taught me about love. In the third game, it gave me some quiet time alone with Jessica. I get the feeling it did many other small things for me. At any rate, I've paid back all my debts now. Now all my debts are
ジェシカが貸してくれた
music tape Jessica
音
lent
楽
to
テー
me.
プ返してないや。
I never gave that back, did I?
いいよね。
It's okay, isn't it?
ジェシカ、
Jessica?
あれ気に入ってたんだ。
I like that one.
だからプレゼントにしてもらってもいいか
Can
な。
I accept it as a present?
ダビングして渡すからダメ。
You want me to hand it over and dub it back? Or dub it over and hand it back? Slowly, Cannon's body began to melt into a cloud of gold butterflies. And after the inside of the cramped, dark closet glittered like a golden planetarium, it faded away like the light of fireflies and was painted over by a pitch blackness for all eternity. And back to the church. In the cathedral, the goat attendants were jostling around either side of the red carpet. On the red carpet, standing across from each other, were Beato and Erika. Oh, looks like they're ready to duel. In their hands were the pistols given to them by Zapar and Furfur. I'll rest my case.
フリントロック式ですか。
Flintlocks, are they?
また古風な。
How old-fashioned.
気にするな。
Pay it no mind, pay it no mind.
悪魔というのは様式美にこだわるものでな。
Demons are very particular about style. I mean, if they look good, can't really complain, right? Its form was similar to an actual old-fashioned gun, but this was of course a demon's gun. It wasn't a gun that would propel a lead bullet with an explosion caused by gunpowder. Or like the pistols used in the duel between Shannon and Cannon, whose bullets contained a magic that would always kill. These pistols also had bullets that were not made of lead.
ベアト。
Just say her name.
心配の必要
Oh,
は
there's no
な
need
い
to
わ
worry.
よ。あっさり勝って。またリアは悪態の日
She'll
々だ
win
わ。
easily. You'll have to deal with her insults again, Leah.
この勝負が終わりましたら、たまには有給を申請してみましょう。
When this match is over, we should ask to be paid every now and then.
私、この戦いが終わったら、たまにはぶらりとカリ
So
ブ
after
の
the
方
fight
へ
ends,
船旅でも。
perhaps the occasional trip to the Caribbean would be satisfactory?
この勝負が終わったらはやめとけって。
Enough talk about when the fight's over.
決闘前に演技でもないわ。
That's an ill omen before a duel.
ベアト、緊張感を持って。
Hey, don't take this seriously. Isn't she?
ヘラヘラ笑ってる場合じゃありません。
Time to be standing around.
なんでリーチがリラックスしてて
Laughing, yeah.
リアが緊張してんのよ。
Why
も
is
う
Riche relaxed and Leah tense? Come on.
ベアトリーチェ様、しっかり。
Beato, you can do it.
ベアトリーチェ様に不利な一騎打ちだ。
Beatrice is at a disadvantage in this duel.
どうして？
Why? Why?
本来魔女は手数で勝負できる。
Normally, witches are able to use strength and numbers to achieve
と
victory.
ころがゲームが中断されたため、手持ちはバトラ様の客室の謎くらいしかないのよ。
However, since the game has been suspended, she's had nothing on her side except the riddler of Battler Sama's guest room.
エリカはその謎だけ青きくさびでうがてば、すべての謎を解明したことになってしまう。
If Erika can strike a blue wedge to that one riddle, it'll mean she solved everything.
勝てるわよ。
They can win.
ベアトリーチェ様と
I believe in Beatrice-sama
バトラ様の
and Battler-sama.
我らが二人の
Our
主
two masters.
私は信じる。お呼びですか？
Did you call me?
ありがとう。
Thanks.
珍しく
For
勝ち
once.
も負けも五分五分だと思ってます。
It feels like our chances of winning are 50-50. Not 100-0. Alright.
だから先に
So
お
I'd
礼を
like
言
to
ってお
thank
き
you
ます。
beforehand.
すべて職務
Simply my job.
感謝の必要はありま
There's
せ
no
ん。
need to thank me.
あんた私がボロクソに負けたのにかばってくれたとき
When you protected me after I lost pathetically, I was happy.
嬉しかった。私 生まれてから誰かにかばわれたのってあれが初めてだった。
It was the first time in my life anyone's ever
我が
protected me.
主にさえ、私
Even my master's never
が
done so.
主に与えられたのは暴かれた真実には
All she's done is given me a way to
暴き返すこと
cancel out my
で
pain
自分
by
の痛みを
exposing the
打ち
truth
消
of
すと
others.
いう傷つけ合いの仕方だけでした。
So everyone ends up hurting each other.
傲慢をお許しくだ
Give my
さい。
arrogance.
私は守らねばと
I felt
思
I
い
needed
ま
to
した。あ
protect
なた
you.
がどんなか弱い真実で生き、
When I realized what a frail truth you
そ
live
れを
by.
よりもっともらしい虚実の横暴で虐げられてきたか。
When I saw you being tormented by the tyranny of a mixture of truth and lies that seemed more
あなた
plausible.
を守りたいと
I
思
wanted
い
to
まし
protect
た。
you.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
短い間だったけど、あんたは最高のパートナーでした。
It wasn't for long, but you were a wonderful partner.
これからもです。
And will remain so.
そうですね。
You're right.
あいつを倒したら、あんたと一緒にこの島でいっぱいミステリーを作りましょう。
We defeated her. Let's make tons of mysteries on this island together.
そしてそれをあんたに出題していじめて遊ぶ。
I'll have you solve them and tease you as we play. That sounds like a terrible thing to do. Well, I guess she's a piece. So she doesn't really get a choice. But I'm not sure what world I'm in there. I'm like, ah, yes, please do that. Let's do this. That's like a big nope from me. How's that sound?
気に入りました。
I like it well.
あ
I
なた
like
の
it.
挑戦楽しみにしています。
I look forward to your challenge.
あ、嘘ごめん。
Sorry. That's a lie.
今の撤回です。
I take it back.
こういうの負けフラグって言うんでしょ？
That'd be one of those loser flags, wouldn't it?
さあいいかい、二人の決闘者たち。
Are you ready, duelists? It's time to duel.
魔法の銃に込める弾は鉛じゃないわ。
Bullets within those magic guns are not lead.
ミステリーとファンタジーのうがち合いは赤と青の真実を弾とするべきさ。
This time, they're bullets of red and blue truth for the battle between mystery and fantasy.
互いに真実がある限り、弾は無限。
As long as you possess truth, your bullets are endless.
ただし一撃でも当たれば即死。
However, being hit by a single one means instant death. Okay.
両者覚悟はいいね。
Are you both prepared?
当然。
Certainly.
無論。
Of course.
栄光ある元老院の議員にして偉大なる絶対の魔女。
It's Danganronpa. We have truth bullets, right? So are we gonna get a quiz now? Maybe? Imagine having gameplay this late in the game. That'd be crazy. Oh, great and powerful witch of certainty and member of the glorious Senate. Please come
何
forward.
時この決闘の立ち会い人となることを誓
Will
う
you,
か。
will you swear to oversee this duel?
もちろんよ。
Of course, of course.
誓うわ。
I swear it. The crowd split and Lambda walked forward with Berncastel by her side. She looked between the faces of the two duelists, and then she took out an envelope with the seal of the one-winged eagle and lifted it
ベ
high.
アトリーチェより封書にて物語の修正書を受け取ったわ。
Beatrice has sent me her revisions of the tale inside a sealed
審
envelope.
査の結果、内容は有効。
After inspecting it, I find its contents are valid.
ロジックエラーの回避を宣言するわ。
I proclaim the logic error has been avoided.
チェーンロックはかかったまま。
The chain lock is
こ
still
れまで
set.
の赤き真実に一切矛盾しない。
And without any contradictions with any red truth made up to this point. The many goat attendants knew the details of Battler's closed room. They realized how difficult it was, and that though fiery debates swept across the crowd during the reception, none had been able to find an answer. And it was clear that Beatrice had already reached
よっ
one.
て 本決闘は有効。
Therefore, this duel is legitimate.
決闘はたった1点。
It'll settle around a single point.
バトラの客室の密室をめぐって行われるわ。
The closed room of Battler's guest room.
チェーンロックがかかった密室から後宮バトラは失踪した。
Battler disappeared from within a closed room sealed by a chain lock.
これについてエリカは青き真実の争点を、
Therefore, Erika has been armed with the
ベ
blue
アト
truth.
リーチェは反論の赤き真実の争点を。
Beatrice has been armed with the red truth, the counterback.
決闘は決着がつくまで続けられるものとする。
The duel will continue until one side's victorious. Alright.
上等だ。
Splendid.
上等です。
Perfect.
オーケー。それではベアト、
Well then, Beato.
あなたが修正した新しい物語と謎をエリカに提示して。
Present your new revised tale and riddle to Erika.
密室のいとこ部屋より
Canon used
カノンは
magic
魔法にて封印を破らずに脱
to
出。
escape from the cousin room without breaking the
密
seals.
室にいたり魔法にてバトラを密室の外へ脱出させた。
You reached the guest room and used magic to let Battler escape from the closed room.
くだらない物語。
A foolish tale. But you don't like it? It seems bulletproof. X used magic, they escaped via magic. Magic solves everything, problem solved. There's no way we lose off an argument like that. It's easy.
結構。
Well,
エリカ側確認は？
Erika, is there anything you wish to confirm?
副賞要求。
Repeat it.
バトラを救出したのは間違いなくカノン本人である。
The one who rescued Battler was without a doubt Canon.
受けようぞ。
Very well.
バトラを救出したのは間違いなくカノン本人である。
One who rescued Battler was without a doubt Canon.
副賞要求。バトラとカノンは別人である。
Battler and Canon are different people.
受けようぞ
I'll say it.
バトラとカノンは別人である。
Battler and Canon are different people.
結構です。
That's enough.
エリカ確認は以上？
Erika, you done confirming things?
今ので結構です。
That's all I needed.
戦い方は決まりましたの
I've
で。
decided how to fight.
オーケー。両
Okay.
者は弾丸を装填なさい。
Let both sides load their bullets. I heard Donga. But of course, that's bullets, so that makes sense. Erika turned around and pressed her finger against the barrel of the pistol, made her blue truth into a bullet, and pushed it in. Alright, there was no rule saying she had to turn away, but she didn't want her expression to be read. Plus, it looks more ominous when she does that. Right? It looks way more ominous if you, like, turn away and you're like, I need to pose. I need to strike a pose. Right? Right? That works. She doesn't want her expression to be read? Sure. Okay. Might have been because she couldn't stand the tension of looking at Beato's bold smile. Oh, doesn't like that? Beato had already finished loading her red truth. She waited for Erika to finish while calmly puffing on her pipe. I almost said putting a pipe in her mouth. Alright. Then she looked at Battler, who sat on the throne of the Territory Lord, right next to the two witches who were there as witnesses. Battler's consciousness was still hazy, however, he apparently understood that Beato had come to duel for his sake so that he could be saved. It was all he could do just to look at Beato with those sluggish eyes. A flood of emotions passed between them. There was no need for words. A look was enough for them now. Erika closed her eyes tightly, finger up against the barrel. At the moment, her stunning powers of concentration made all the distractions of the outside world disappear. It's always been like this, but my concentration is really good. Are you ready, me, Perudo, Erika? First, let's lay out the situation. Battler disappeared from that closed room. The chain lock is set. Did he disappear via magic? Of course not. There has to be a trick. Cannon didn't save him with magic. He just came, took Battler's place, and set the chain. Everyone knows that much. The problem is the next step, or, well, the step before that one. Cannon was in the cousin room in the guest house. The room was completely sealed with packing tape, and it's been proven the seal was intact until the time of the logic error. In other words, Cannon escaped from a closed room that was absolute with no chance for excuses or twisted logic. Good. Alright, this is why she called it simple, yet an ultimate closed room. How did he escape from the perfect closed room, known as the cousin room? Yeah. If I got stuck thinking only about that question, I'd be no better than your average kid detective. That room's a perfect closed room, there's no way to escape. In other words, trying to think of ways to escape from there is a waste of time. The real question is how Cannon was somehow outside the cousin room when it was sealed. The cousin room is a completely sealed can. He was in there when it was sealed, then it's... He was in there when it was sealed, it's already game over. In other words, at that time the cousin room was sealed, he wasn't inside it anymore. Let's look at the time I checked everyone's locations and sealed the rooms. That's the most suspicious part. At that time, we have 5 people in the next room over, whom I confirmed with my own eyes. Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, Nanjo. I mentioned the names of those 5 people during the location check and confirmed they were in the next room over. Then I checked whether everyone else was in the cousin room and had that confirmed for me as well. I said everyone else, so whether he was Cannon, Yoshia, or even the Puru Puru Pico man. They should have all been sealed in the cousin room. It seems perfect at a glance. However, though that phrase, everyone else seems perfect, it's fishy. Strictly speaking, everyone else refers to all humans whose names I did not mention directly. However, there are exceptions. For example, it's been confirmed Hideyoshi and George were in the next room over, so humans with the name Hideyoshi or George don't need to be inside the cousin room. It seems Kanan told Jessica his real name was Yoshia, but that was no red truth. In other words, what if Kanan's real name is the same as one of those in the next room over? They seem to be about the same age, so let's use George. What if there were 2 Georges in that room? That doesn't violate the red truth saying Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, and Nanjo are in the next room over. Let's say Kanon's real name was Tanaka George. Both Ushirimiya George and Tanaka George could exist in that room at the same time. In other words, there were 6 humans with 5 names. It looked to my eyes as though there were only 5 people in the next room over, but a 6th person, Kanon, was hiding somewhere. I don't have the detective's authority, so it wouldn't be that difficult for him to fool my eyes and hide. I see. The double name trick. Stupid, stupid. Alright, I've made my logic. Kanon, who was hiding in the next room over, not the cousin room, left by the window after the seals were placed. Oh, good evening, my friend. Bang. The gun had fired, and the tip of my finger was stained with blood. The Bluetooth gunpowder had exploded. Damn it. I've already had to land or seal that one. Yeah. Can't use that one. But Bluetooth arguing about the window of the next room over is forbidden. So I can't use it. That was an awkward... That was an awkward choice. Ooh, an accidental discharge? Don't worry. I'm sure it happens to everyone. Careful now, guns can be dangerous. Oh, Beato's being nice. Shut up. It's just a little mistake. The window of the next room over. You sealed it with some trick, right? Yop told me. Is that so? It's sealed from blue, funnily enough. You can actually use it on red side. I think? And so what?
そのくだらぬ封印を解け。
Delano, remove that foolish seal. Alright then. Consistency is hard.
今やその封印は貴様らの枷であるわ。
The seals become your shackles. Beato had figured everything out. I had been thinking. She's acting so confident, telling me to go ahead and use that argument?
エリカ卿
Lady Erika? Please remove
解
it.
いてください。
Oh, so you can seal you can seal blue arguments indefinitely, but you can also unseal them on demand. I love how this game works. I love how this game works. You're not allowed to use an argument to solve your problem. Okay, you're allowed to use it. The villain's allowed to use it, but why? Alright, just change the rules of the game once, and then change them 5 minutes later again. Whenever it suits the plot for it to be relevant. I love it. Please remove it, that fool.
後悔させてやります。
I'll make her regret this.
準備はいいようだね。決闘
Gives
者
you
た
ready
ち。
duelists.
良ければ向き合って銃口を。
Face each other with your pistols.
そして真実の火種で着火を。
Fire with the sparks of truth. After facing away and readying herself one last time, Erika spun around. Beato had been facing her since the beginning. She wore a confident, challenging smile as if she'd been kept waiting. Then without any signal, the two slowly raised their guns, pointing them at each other. The red and blue glints that hid within their barrels.
来い。楽しませてもらうぞ。
Come, I could use a little fun. Just a little, not too much, mind you.
始めなさい。
Begin. We wouldn't want to have all our fun in one day. That would be boring. Begin? Alright.
まずカノンがいかにして
First
リ
is
ト
how
コ部屋の
Canon
密室
escaped
か
from
ら
the
脱
cousin
出
room.
したかそれを弾丸とします
I'll use that as my bullet.
ほう、そちらから来るか。
Okay, let's start from there. Fair enough.
来るがよいぞ。
Well, let's have it.
存分に。
No holding back here.
参ります
Here we go. Coming at us. After holding the gun high and pointing it at Beato once more, Erika pulled the trigger with statements of red and blue truth.
いとこ部屋は完全な密室が最後まで保証されています
The cousin room is guaranteed to be a perfect closed room until the
よっ
end.
てカノンがこの部屋に本当にいたなら脱出は不可能です
If Canon was really in the room, it would be
つ
impossible
まり
for him
カ
to
ノン
escape.
は封印時にいとこ部屋にいなかったのです
In other words, Canon was not in the room at the time it was sealed. I think Beato should strike that one
カノ
down.
ンの名は仮のもの
The name Canon is an
本
alias.
名は未だ不明です
His real name is still unknown.
彼の本名が仮に隣部屋の誰かと同じだったなら隣部屋の在室確認に矛盾しない
If the real name happens to be the same as anyone in the next room over, it wouldn't contradict the check on who was in the
つ
room.
まりいとこ部屋に収容されず隣部屋にいることができるということ
It's possible for him to be in the next room over, not the cousin room. The goat attendants chattered and clapped their hands. Yes, yes, they thought such a move could work. I love watching. I love being surrounded by this chatter. After all, I am the detective.
隣部屋は確かに封印されましたが
Question. The detective is the murderer in this case. How is if she says she's detective and makes her proclamation? She's made her detective proclamation. I'm not really sure how that works, but you know, plot works. It's true the next room over
ロ
was
ジック
sealed.
エラー時には扉のみしかその維持が証明されませんでした
But at the time of the logic error, only the doors were checked to see whether the seals were preserved. Okay.
よって窓の封印は破られた可能性があり
Therefore,
ます
there's a chance the seals were broken? Okay.
カノンは隣部屋に存在しその窓から脱出したのです
Canon was in the next room over and escaped through that window. Alright, so we know how Canon escaped. What do you guys think? Yay, nice.
以上
That's all! I mean, that would be an easy guess. But any other theory would be impossible if this doesn't work. There's no truth left. soon as she said that's all, both of them fired at the same time. After the blast rang out, it was Erika's gun that fell to the floor. Beato's red bullet knocked Erika's gun from her hands. Beato didn't say anything. That's impressive. Was it arrogance or confidence? If she had aimed that bullet at Erika's heart, the whole thing would have been over. Beato missed on purpose. There was a bold smile on her face. It was as though she was offering to play with Erika a little longer. No, that's exactly what made her Beato. Careful, you'll give your opponent your answer. Beatrice, the witch who mocks others with unsolvable closed room tricks. At the time the next room over was sealed, Hideyoshi, George, Kumasawa, Shannon, and Nanjo were in it. And the number of people in the room was 5. No one existed in those rooms, except to those whom those 5 names refer. All people can only go by their names. Their own names. Look, not making an aggressive prediction. Beatrice acting smart for 1 second? Or an aggressive, red truth. It was a thoroughly merciless red truth. Simple and severe. Now that the number of people had been limited to 5, any leeway for canon hiding there had been completely denied. Also, it was clear that only the people hiding those 5 names existed within the room. Erika couldn't even name a new theory by suggesting that one person held 2 names, so that 5 names referred to only 4 people, which would let an unnamed canon sneak in. Furthermore, it was the part about how people could only use their own names was a fatal blow that cut down countless theories. Oh, come to think of it, you only met the half-sleeping me from the previous game, haven't you? What do you think, Erika? How do you like the game of the Golden Witch? I mean, it started off pretty easily. We're in their first round. That's insane. What are you saying? Canon slipped out of the room by magic. More importantly, why'd you just knock my gun away?
人間側は魔女の謎をすべて打ち砕き、魔女側は人間側の推理を一つ打ち砕けばいい。
The human side must crush all the witch's riddles, whereas the witch side only needs crush the human theories once.
これではアンフェアだろ。
Don't you find that unfair?
だから、わらわも同じにすることにした。
So I decided to have it be even.
同じ？わらわも。 そなたの推理をすべて打ち砕いて勝利することにした。
I've decided I'm going to make my victory condition the destruction of all your theories.
カノン脱出の謎はわらわの勝ちだが、もう一つ。
Won the riddle of Canon's escape, but there's more.
バトラに辛酸をなめさせた。最初の戦場に戻ろうぞ。
Return to the first battleground where you gave battlers so much trouble. Oh, we're going back there. All right. Give battlers so much grief. Let's see what it is. When Beato snapped her fingers, the guest room of battlers was reconstructed. She meant to fight once more in the room that threatened battler with a logic error, determined to settle things once and for all.
Erika.
Erika, pick up your gun. We have unsettled business between us, don't we?
この部屋をお前の棺桶にしてくれるわ。
We'll have this room be your coffin. And Beato's like, I'm gonna flex on you so hard you're gonna want to die. We're just gonna disarm you until you give up.
その言
I'll
葉
say the same to you.
そっくりお返しします。
Well, that's not very imaginative. Aren't you supposed to be the creative detective? Come on, Erika.
私にチャンスを与えたことを後悔させてやります。
Ever giving me this chance?
立会人よ。
Witness?
エリカに X を許す。
Allow Erika to use X.
X?
X?
説明不要の根拠ね。
A basis that doesn't need to be explained?
で、何を許すの？
What are you gonna let her do?
エリカはカノンの密室脱出トリックの説明義務を負わずに。
Let's give Erika permission to use blue truth for canon in this
カ
guest
ノン
room
を
trick
この客室トリックをめぐる青き真実に組み入れることを許そうぞ。
how he escaped from his closed room. A theory explaining how Canon saved Battler would also need to explain how Canon escaped from his own closed room, or would have no basis. Erika already lost that basis. Beato was giving her a handicap by saying she didn't need to explain that part.
当然です。
Of course.
あんたはカノンがバトラを助けたことを赤き真実で保証してるんですから。
You've already used red truth to explain the guarantee that Canon saved Battler.
そんなのもらえて当然です。
It's only natural I be given this privilege. Alright then. Erika faced away again and concentrated even harder. As though twisting the knob on a radio, she turned all the noise and idle thoughts down to 0. Let's go, Furuto Erika. Detective Furuto Erika. As long as Canon reaches this place, rescuing Battler isn't hard. The trick is as follows. Canon uses some kind of escape trick X to reach the front of the guest room. While I was busy in the bathroom, Battler left the closet. Battler undid the chain lock. Battler went outside. Canon entered in his place. Canon set the chain lock. Canon went into the closet. The end. This satisfies the two red truths about the chain lock being set in Battler's absence, and in exchange for this escape trick, Canon remains inside the guest room. There's no room for an argument on how tightly this room can act as a closed room. The chain is cursed. In this demonic closed room, one person must remain as a sacrifice for it to be acceptable. However, is such a simple theory really enough? The rescuer switched places with him. The rescuer hid in the closet. No other sort of theory is possible, and yet Beato thinks she can win? In that case, does some other trick exist? Impossible. I swear on the history of the mystery genre, there's absolutely, definitely, categorically no other way. But if I give in here, I couldn't call myself a detective. Consider it. Imagine. Don't stop thinking. That's how you drive blue wedges into witches. What I can expect to see is, yes, a wordplay trick. It can only be some kind of wordplay that just barely slips through the net of words spoken in red. In that case, I'll crush all possibilities. I'll have them repeat line after line. This final duel has already begun, even though we haven't pulled our triggers yet.
副将用バトラ救出時、客室に入ったのはカノンのみである。
At the time Battler was rescued, only Canon entered the guest room.
認めようぞ。
I
バ
acknowledge
トラ
it.
救出時、客室に入ったのはカノンのみである。
At the time Battler was rescued, only Canon entered the guest
そう
room.
いう話のつもりだが。
I believe that was the whole point.
副将要求。
Repeat.
私の入室からロジックエラージまで、私とバトラとカノン以外に入退室したものは存在しない。
From the time I entered the room to the time of the logic error, Battler, Canon, and I were the only ones who entered or exited this room. Okay.
認めようぞ。
I acknowledge it.
そなたの入室からロジックエラージまで客室を出入りしたのはそなたとバトラとカノンのみだ。
From the time you entered the room to the time of the logic error, you, Battler, and Canon were the only ones who went in or out of the guest room.
副将要求。
Repeat.
それはすなわち3人のことである。
認めようぞ。
I acknowledge it. It's only 3 people. So, if she just tapes the door closed, you lose, right? All she has to do is tape the door closed and you instantly lose, but because reasons, that's not going to work.
そなたとバトラとカノンで3人である。
It refers to 3 people, you, Battler, and Canon.
定義確認。
Confirming definition.
この3人の定義は体の数に等しいと考えていい？
When you say 3 people, that's equal to the number of bodies.
3体が出入りをしたってことですよね。
You're saying 3 bodies went in or out of the room, right? That would appear to be the case. I've had enough of things being mixed about with names and numbers of people. I want this point to be clear. Of course.
3人すなわち3体が出入りした。
3 people. In other words, 3 bodies went in or
そ
out.
なたとカノンは入ったのみ。バトラは出たのみ。
In other words, only you and Canon entered, only Battler
すべ
left.
ての名は本人以外に名乗れないと。
It's already been said in red. All people can only use their own names.
よってエリカ、バトラ、カノンの名はいずれも本人にしか名
Therefore,
乗
the
れないの
names
だ。
Canon, Battler, and Erika can only be used by those 3 people. Those
副
people.
賞
Sorry.
要求
Repeat.
私は救出
当然そなたは探偵ではないか。
Repeat. I am not the rescuer. Of course, you're the detective, are you not?
安心せよ。わらわはそれ
Don't
を
worry, I'll
尊
respect
重
that.
する。
定義確認
Confirming definition.
救出者の定義とは
How do you define rescuer? This is also important. I want to quickly remove the possibility I rescued him accidentally.
救出者とはバトラの開けたチェーンロックを再びかけ直したものと
I'll
いうこと
define
です。
rescuer to mean any person who reset the chain lock after Battler unset it.
バトラを救う意志があったかどうかは問わないことにしておく。
It applies whether the person intended to rescue Battler or not. Since she said after Battler unset the chain lock, it's impossible for this to have occurred before I set in the foot in the room. From that point on, I couldn't undo the chain again for all eternity. I wouldn't undo the chain again for all eternity. After all, the game was suspended at that point, therefore it was impossible for me to have been the rescuer accidentally. More, I can focus even more. The chain can only be set from the inside. It's impossible for a person to escape on their own. So, therefore, we know Battler didn't escape by himself. I'm not the rescuer. Only Canon can be the rescuer. And Beato already said Canon's the rescuer in the Red Truth. There's nothing to doubt. No room for anyone but Canon to be involved, at least so far.
副賞出入りの定義とは客室と外部の境界をまたいだかどうかである。
Going in or out refers to when someone crosses the boundary between the guest room and the area outside it.
認めようぞ。
Acknowledge.
副賞要求
Repeat.
客室とは
By guest room, we refer to the entirety
Bedroom.
of the bedroom.
バスルーム
Bathroom.
クローゼット内のすべてを含む。
認めようぞ。クローゼット内を客室でないと言い逃れる気などさらさらないわ。
I have no intention of reeling out of this by saying the closet isn't part of the guest room.
定義確認
Confirming definition.
客室内とはベッドルームバスルームクローゼット内の3区分である。
The inside of the guest room is divided into 3 sections. The bedroom, bathroom, and closet.
わらわもその認識でいるぞ。
I recognize it as
そ
such.
してすでにそなたはベッドルーム、バスルームの2区分で
Furthermore, you've already confirmed with the red truth that 2 of those
誰も
sections,
隠れていないことを赤き真実で確認したはず
the
だ。
bedroom and the bathroom, had no one hiding in them.
副賞用
Repeat.
クローゼット内には誰かがいる。
There is someone in the closet.
拒否する。
I refuse.
どうして
Why is that?
カノンがそこに隠れているからです
Is
か。
Canon's hiding there?
カノンは魔法が使えるのだぞ。
Canon can use magic.
確かにクローゼットに一時姿を隠しはしたが、その後すぐに魔法で姿を消したのだ。
It's true he hid himself in the closet for a time, but he then immediately vanished with his magic.
だからクローゼット内には不在。
So there's no one in the
よっ
closet.
て復唱は
I
で
can't
きる。
respond.
それの副賞を再要求します。
I ask you to repeat it once more.
バカめ。魔女側には魔法で行ったことについて説明する義務はないわ。
Fool. The witch has no obligation to explain how they did things with magic. I mean, that part is true, right? You don't have to do that. Battler's very generous. No, it's completely obvious. There's no way she can say Canon disappeared with magic using the red truth. After all, magic doesn't exist. But is this enough? I've gone through every last minor detail, and yet there's an uncanny lack of dubious points. I can't think of any way around the theory I've had since the beginning. Canon must be in the closet. He has to be. He has to be. Canon's in the closet, right? Surely. There's no way he isn't. I'll say it again. This closed room can only be escaped from by switching places with the rescuer. If Cannon tried to escape as well, another rescuer would be needed. But no rescuer exists for Cannon. Battler escaped, so it's impossible for it to be him. I won't undo the chain for all eternity. The people who have gone in and out of the room have been confirmed by both name and number of people. At this rate, my theory is set in stone. First, here are the details of the situation that are certain. The game ended while I was inside the guest room. Well, I didn't undo the chain lock I had previously set. Okay. It can't be that he escaped after I left the room. Furthermore, the chain lock was set at the same time I entered the room. Okay. No one could have left the room during the few seconds between the time I entered and the time I set the chain lock. The guest room was sealed at the time the corpse was examined. So until I came again and broke the seals, it was absolutely impossible for anyone to go in or out. Okay. Therefore, when I entered the room, it's certain Battler was hiding somewhere inside the guest room. All in red so far. The only chance Battler had to escape was after I broke the seals. Was that actually given in red, or is she just thinking that? I get. To be even more specific, he had no chance to escape except for the time I was in the bathroom. Was that in red as well? Oh, it doesn't really matter anyway. As the above premises, Battler's trick to escape with the chain still set is as followed. Because of the aforementioned reasons, the only one who could have set the chain lock, which can only be set from the inside and allowed Battler to escape, is Cannon, the only person to enter the room except for me and Battler. After Cannon entered the room, he set the chain. Okay. Hid in one place that he could hide inside the guest room, the closet. That was close. Almost got me. They almost tricked me. I thought I'd cornered him in the closet. It's the opposite. They're trying to make me think he's in the closet. What was the order in which I searched the guest room? First, the bedroom. We confirmed with the red there was nothing there. Then the bathroom. We confirmed with the red that there was nothing there. That's it right there. When I examined the bedroom, there was nothing there. However, while I was investigating the bathroom, Cannon slipped out of the closet and hid again somewhere in the bedroom. In other words, my guarantee no one was in the bedroom was torn apart during a span of 1 minute. I spotted it. This is the witch's trap, an attempt to lure me into thinking Cannon's in the closet. The place he's really hiding is the bedroom. Okay. We almost got her. She's giggling. She's figured us out. Oh no. I found it. I finally found it. I finally found you. Your trick. That was a close one. If I'd been one step slower, I'd have said there was nowhere to hide except inside the closet. And then she'd just say the closet was empty. No, wait. It works the same way in reverse. Now I get it. It's a logic switching trick. Damn that Beato! In resolving the logic error, she discovered this strange trick. If I only notice the closet, she has Cannon hide under the bed. If I only notice the bed, she has Cannon hide in the closet. Even though either one would be right, I lose no matter which I choose. Unless I expose both at the same time, I can't checkmate her. Incredible. I've never heard of such an unfair trick. If it was sleight of hand, it'd be a cheap one. If it was a mystery, I'd just be cheating. It'd just be cheating. However, in this witches game, it's legit. It's a legitimate logic trick. In chess, it'd be called a double check. Or a discovered attack? No, it'd be a discovered double checkmate. Even though this sort of logic would be a foul trick of the mystery genre. In this world where witches and mystery war, it's such a refined board layout. The beautiful placement of the black pieces that cornered my white king felt almost like an art. So beautiful that if I were a god in some old legend, I might wish to stick it in the sky as a constellation. The beauty even brought tears to my eyes. Wait, how would you even do that? I guess you'd have to do it with a castle, right? Because you have to move 2 pieces. You have to somehow move 2 pieces such that they're both threatening. They're both threatening checkmate, and a single positioned piece doesn't block it, right? In one movement, so you have to move 2 pieces? I'm just thinking how that would actually work. And what the positioning would have to be. Because if you moved 1 piece, then if you move 1 piece out of the way, eliminating a piece to create 2 pieces attacking a king, wouldn't that just be like a normal double check? Wouldn't that just be a normal check with from 2 points? Which isn't like too crazy. Right? I'll just go. It would be a discovered attack, right? The piece that was moved has to check the king too. Yeah, which is hard because you can't use the king can't check another king. At best, you could like smother them by preventing their movement out of a safe place. So I don't think you could use king for a check. Yeah, a double check that requires a discovered attack. I guess they were just assuming. I guess it's just 1 piece moving to do something, revealing 2 attacks on the king that results in checkmate due to the pattern. Is fine. Double discovered attack isn't too bad. That's not too hard. 1 piece in the way, a bishop and a rook pointing at the same target. Tripping it with 2 pieces at once is so satisfying. You've only done it once, but it's great. Or like, maybe do like a rook and a queen so it's easier to pinpoint a piece? That'd be hard. That'd be a bit awkward to do, but you could do it. I mean, checkmating with 2 pieces, you'd probably want like a knight? A knight seems like the most straightforward piece. Move the knight, because the knight can move over pieces. Anything else seems really hard to try and figure out the positioning for. Like, I can't think of how you do it with anything other than a knight. Knight moves to attack a king. Knight moves to attack a king, revealing any other piece with a line attack hitting the king, right? The beautiful placement of the black piece of the corner of my white king felt almost like an art, so beautiful. If I were a god in some old legend, I might wish to stick in the sky as a constellation. The beauty brought tears to my eyes. For the first time. Yeah, bishop works if it's moved into position and discovered check by a rook or queen. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You move one of the other pieces into position? But like, it's double discovered, right? It's supposed to be double discovered though, right? Yeah, it's discovered double. You have to have 2 pieces. You have to move a single piece such that you get two discovered attacks at the same time. So you have to go from already having one, which wouldn't really work because the king would have to move. I think it's only knight. But I don't know how a knight gets a discovered attack is my question. How does a knight generate a discovered attack? You have to get 2 discovered attacks at the same time. Like there aren't any pieces that can jump over pieces other than the knight. It's the piece that moves. A piece that moves isn't a discovered attack. That's just a normal attack. A discovered attack is when you move a piece. It is basically when a piece moves and the pieces that were already in position get an attack line on something. So basically like If you move like your pawn out of the way, if you move your pawn forward such that like your bishop can attack someone, that's a discovered attack. You check pawn capture. Yeah, would be it. You check pawn capture. But you can't put yourself in check. Yeah, there has to be two. I'm trying to think of how it would work, because you have to have two pieces make discovered moves. And you can't put yourself in check, right? You can't put yourself in check. So if you check and then someone pawn captures, they can't be put in check off their own pawn capture. That's illegal. Anyway, it's not super important. The pawn takes a piece and checks a king, also allowing the rook to check. Again, that's an attack. A discover. You can't the piece that moves. The piece that moves does not create a discovered attack. The piece that moves attacking someone is not a discovered attack. If you move a piece into position, it's not discovering an attack. It's the pieces that don't move. Having something moved out of the way, see, which doesn't really work with knights. I'm kind of lost on how that would work, because it doesn't work with knights because the knight wouldn't. Knights can't make discovered attacks. It's not possible, right? Because a knight isn't affected by line of sight, and there's no piece in chess that is unaffected by line of sight for friendlies but not enemies, or enemies not friendlies. To get that. An en passant? You move a piece out of the way and move your own piece at the same time, creating a second line. That works. That works. I think that's the only move. Yes. You en passant discovering something, moving yourself out of the way for a second attack. That works. That would work. Yeah, an en passant move I think works, because the issue with a normal discovered attack is generally you'd only get one piece to be visible when you move one piece, which wouldn't make doubles possible. It would have to be an en passant, because the en passant moves two pieces in one move, specifically the piece it's passing, and itself doesn't end up in the place it was passing. What would be a funny move? Discovered attack via a pawn moving to the back rank, clearing the way for some other piece, and a pawn promotes to a knight for a second check. I've actually seen a couple of solutions to chess puzzles that involve promoting to knights. Yeah, you can totally do that, or like move the pawn to the back rank, putting the king in check via a knight. I've seen that too. Knights are flexible. Knights got some neat tricks. It's just really hard to lock someone down with one knight. That's the only problem. The knight's got lots of weird moves, but man. Yeah, knights in puzzles are always very interesting. There's always some weird shit you can do with knight movement to result in what you're looking for, especially when they don't give you like a fixed number of turns to win. You're like, oh dear god, it could be like 10. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Oh no, white wins. Oh fuck me, how does white win? Here we go again. Knights also allow true smothered mates. True. Those are fun. The first time I felt honored at being allowed to participate in this game of truth and witches as a human. Aren't you a witch? Ironically, it taught me the one who always believed in a single truth, there isn't necessarily one truth. There isn't necessarily just one truth. If I just broaden my perspective, I can see completely different truths. As though each of those truths are truth. They're incomplete if they're all you can see. In my life until now, just how many truths have I missed because I was blinded by some trivial truth? That is, this is the true nature of the world.
真実は一つしか存在しないというおごりが。
Because of our arrogance and thinking only one truth exists.
たった一つの真実を見つけただけで、それ以外の真実から私たちを盲目にしてしまう。
Whenever we find one truth, we get blinded to all others.
ありがとう、ベアトリーチェさん。
Thank you, Beatrice.
まさか
I never thought
魔女にこの世界の真理を教えられるとは。
the true nature of this world from a witch. Slowly, with a soft and quiet gesture, like a flower opening with the morning dew dripping down its side, Erika raised her gun.
私の勝ちです。
It's my
あな
victory.
たのダブルチェック。
I've seen through your double check.
ならば
Then come.
クールが
Come.
バトラの客室失踪トリックは以下の通りです。
Battler, she's not speaking in red, so she doesn't have it. Battler's guest room disappearance trick is as follows.
私の室内探索中、クローゼット内に隠れていました。
While I searched this room, Battler was hiding in the closet.
そしてバスルームの騒ぎの間にチェーンを外し、室外へ脱出しました。
During the disturbance in the bathroom, he unset the chain and escaped from the room.
この時、廊下にはカノンが待機してい
At
ま
that
した。
time, Canon was waiting for him in the hallway.
カノンは入れ替わりで客室に入り、チェーンを施錠しました。
Canon entered the guest room in his place and set the chain.
これがバトラ失踪のトリック
This
で
is
す。
the trick to Battler's disappearance. If you have to speak it in blue, we know it's not true.
そしてその後、彼は
And afterwards,
ベッドルーム内に隠れました。
he hid in the bedroom.
私がベッドルームに不審者がいないことを確認した後のことですので、
This happened after I
それ
checked
は
to
有
see
効です。
that there was no one unexpected in the bedroom, so it's
よ
valid.
って救出者カノンはベッドルームに潜伏しています。
In this way, Canon, the rescuer, concealed himself in the bedroom. Erika's blue bullet flew in a straight arc. It became the wedge of the blue truth and pierced straight down through the bed and the floor beneath. Beato didn't pull her trigger. However, she did quietly argue back with the red truth.
ベッドルームにカノンは存在しない。
Canon does not exist within the bedroom. Ooh, the goat attendants gasped. Erika had apparently been defeated, denied by the red truth, and for the goats who couldn't see more than a single truth, it probably looks as though I've lost. But that's not quite true. Let's see it.
次が本命です。
NJ's world. Next up is the real one.
これが並び立つ真実を知り得た人
This is the
間の
answer
答えで
from a
す。
human, capable of understanding multiple
どうや
truths.
ら幻想物語では第二の晩までが終わってるみたいですし、
It looks like A Tale of Illusions will end on the second Twilight.
ならば私が残りの晩を遂行して
Why don't I carry out the remaining Twilights?
黄金鏡への扉を開いてあげましょう。
And open the door to the Golden
あ
Land.
なたが負けて消えるならば、
If you're to disappear,
それは黄金のバラに包まれて
you
が
should
ふ
be
さわ
surrounded
し
by
い。
your golden roses. The fires of blue truth flashed at Erika's feet, and she loaded a blue truth bullet once more. The overflowing blue power was now making her entire gun burn with a blue flame. She wasn't aiming for Beato. And yes, Beato and Canon both died. She wasn't aiming for Beato, she was aiming behind Beato at the closet.
ベッドルームを否定したならば、
And now
もう
the
逃げ
bedroom.
場はここしかない。
Now that the bedroom has been denied, you have nowhere left to run. Die, Cannon! Cannon is not in the closet. Is that the next statement? Is the next statement Cannon? 5 wedges of blue truth she released shot right past Beato's cheeks, hair, and shoulders. Okay. They pincushioned the door to the closet to gouge whatever human was inside to death. The 5 wedges slammed into the door in a vertical line. In other words, on the 4th twilight, gouge the head and kill. On the 5th twilight, gouge the chest and kill. On the 6th twilight, on the 7th twilight, and on the 8th twilight, gouge and kill, 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 kill. After being gouged by so many thick and sharp wedges, a human inside wouldn't stand a chance. The next line is Battler is not in the closet. Here's the truth I've exposed. Okay, I'm listening. What's your truth? What is your truth? That's all. Awarita? No, it didn't use that line, alas. When she proclaimed she had finished, the 5 blue wedges piercing the closet disappeared. However, the many large splintered holes left behind showed it had indeed been pierced. And yet, did anything happen? I guess that's our question. Then, as though this completed the ceremony that led to the Golden Land, the room that had been created around them became countless gold flower petals and drifted away. By now, the duelists and the crowd of attendants were surrounded by the golden rose garden of the Golden Land. However, the closet behind Beato remained. It stood there by itself like a coffin. Then, as though teased open by a dreary wind, the hole-covered closet door slowly opened. Inside was a human figure. The figure was covered up the head by what appeared to be a grayish robe. Of course, it also had large holes showing it had been stabbed into, and eventually it became clear this was not a robe but a raincoat. If he'd rushed here from the guest house, there would be nothing strange about him wearing this into the guest room. And then, with a rustle, the raincoat lost its human shape, crumpled, became a cloud of gold butterflies, and disappeared. What? Oh, I hasn't figured it out. What the? Inside the coffin or the closet, nothing remained except an empty darkness. He's not in there. Canon does not exist in the guest room. Ooh, this includes all parts of the closet, bedroom, and bathroom. Oh, she's being less ambiguous. I would have just said he doesn't exist in the closet. Oh well. I think I know how they did this. We'll see. I want to see if they use my explanation. Canon let Battler escape and hid in the closet. Then he used magic to disappear. This is the witch's truth. That's all. Fight's over, say no more. And the winner is Beatrice! The attendants let out a cheer. Virgilia's group couldn't help but scream and shout in joy. The 7 sisters jumped in celebration. And at the very same moment, the 2 demons proclaimed Beatrice's victory. The head's ring worn by Erika, who was slowly crumbling to the ground, and the cursed ring on Battler's finger both burst. Ah, plot reasons. I love it. At the same time, Battler coughed violently. Battler was starting to regain consciousness. Battler! Battler's son! Beato lashed onto the coughing Battler in joy. Then Virgilia, Gop, and Ronove did the same. All of Seven Sisters also crowd about him in delight. What a nasty trick. Are you sure something like this will count? With a trick like this one, the humans will start complaining again about how this is no mystery. No, it was a splendid trick. People without love can't see it. I guess that's true. Alright. All she had to do was retroactively apply tape. That was a stupid defeat. You can infinitely apply her tape retroactively, and she didn't bother to do that. Erika, someone help her, quickly! The rows of blood in Erika's chest wouldn't stop opening its petals. Third degree conceptual denial syndrome. Use of continuous neutralizer impossible. Neutralization only possible by an emergency approval for resurrection. Emergency approval for resurrection? Well, that's probably not going to happen. This piece's master must provide approval for resurrection. Well, it could happen. Bern Castell, your approval for resurrection. Bern Castell, where'd she go? She saw the truth and was like, oh, okay, she's gone, bye. Search request the ceremony guards. Find Lady Bern Castell. Understood. All siesters, data link, search format. Cowardly. I think someone's master. Watch her pieces duel until the end. That it's far too cowardly. Erika, who was being held by Delanor, had already realized that her master was nowhere to be seen. But she didn't feel lonely. On the contrary, she was relieved she wouldn't need to be brutally scolded in the last moments of her life. Gods and demons. That's on the story of her noble passing. What was noble about it? I missed that part. Noble? Bad guy's supposed to die pathetically and make the main character look awesome. It's an interesting plot, I guess. She died in a duel. I guess. If you consider that it was a duel, then again, in theory, they're supposed to be doing the same thing for Battler, because he also died in a duel. Whatever, consistency is hard. It just wasn't one with pistols, it was literally the same scenario, though. I'm not anyone's piece anymore, I can finally control my own role. Lady Erika? Stand back. Stay back! When Erika yelled with all her soul, those who surrounded her were forced back and fell on their butts. I'm the Witch of Truth. Gerudo Erika. Yes, we are quite aware of that. I don't think anyone was unaware of that fact. If there was, well, we should eliminate them. Witch of Truth is a witch who can withstand the truth. Yes, you have defined yourself as such.
私はようや
And
く
now,
自分の本当の真実を受け入れられそうなんです。
now I can finally accept the real truth about myself. The toxin of her own concept being denied raced through her. Her vision was already starting to blur. At the other end of her twisted range of vision were Battler and Beato hugging each other and looking at her. Their expressions are firm, and that's okay. Pity and sympathy would only make me look more pathetic. For a loser, that sort of expression is the best.
エリカ卿、もう決闘は終わっています。
Hey, Erika, the duel's already over.
終わってないんだ。
It isn't.
死が二人を分かつまで
Not until the pair is separated by death.
誰にも彼女の散り際を汚せない。
We won't let anyone disgrace her final moments. The two demons grabbed Delanor's shoulders and held her back. Dripping blood. Breathing heavily. And with an awkward gait. Erika walked towards Beato and Battler despite it all. As the blood dripped from her, it became golden flower petals which drifted away, and so as she walked, she looked both divine and beautiful. But I actually don't find the blue-haired rat all that attractive, so that doesn't really work. I'd just be like, alright. The duel won't end until one of them died. Even though it had been settled, it hadn't ended. Beato and Battler told the people bunched around them to step back, and they both walked forward to face the noble loser. Alright. Erika.
復活おめでとうございます。
Congratulations on your
あん
resurrection.
た、長男の層を持ってますよ。
Looks like you have bad luck with women.
ろくな女に好かれやしない。
You'll never get a decent one to like you. I guess she's just being. I guess she's just being a rude loser. Rude.
そうだな。俺もろくな女に惚れねえな。
I'd never fall in love with a decent woman.
ベアト。いいえ、あんたたちに頼みが。
I ask this of both of you.
もう人たちを望む
One
のですか。
final clash?
エリカ。
受けようぞ。
Very
そ
well.
なたの高潔なる申し出を。断る無粋をわらわ
I
た
will
ちは
not
持た
be
ぬ。
so boorish as to refuse your final request.
ありがとう。
Thanks. Alright. As her conscience began to waver, Erika raised her gun again. She pointed it at the two of them. Beato also raised her gun to point at Erika. Then Battler placed his hands on hers. Oh look, don't they make a cute couple? Another couple's shot, man.
もう決着
It's
して
already
る
if
の。
it's already resolved.
これ以上何の論点があるというのです。
What more could there be to argue about?
エリカ様。
私はなぜ
What? There's nothing I can do? No rules? No rule violations? Well, that's your job, right? Policing for rule violations? You should be glad. Be glad there's no rules being broken so you don't have to go ham on someone.
何の力にもここに
I think this.
見届けなさい。
Watch until the
それ
end.
が親友の仕事でしょ。
Your job as a friend, right? Both sides silently loaded their bullets of truth without saying a word. The color packed into each barrel was red, so though neither side spoke, did they know what trump card the other would use?
最後に
No.
自己紹介しと
At
こ
the
う
end,
と思いまして。
I'd like to finally introduce myself. What's she saying this late into the game? No one could imagine the red truth Erika had loaded.
ベアト、
Beato,
いいのか。
are you sure? Yes.
構いません。
I don't mind.
わかった。
I understand.
せめて最後の引き金は一緒に。
Let's at least pull the final trigger together.
わかってるぜ。
I know. Battler placed his hand on top of the finger that Beato had around the trigger.
バトラさん、会えて
I'm glad I
よか
met
った。
俺たちは
you. We will
永遠に
be together in the Golden Land? Is that where we're going? That wonderful place, that Golden Land. Where everyone's together at last.
ずっと一緒だ。
For all eternity.
イチャイチャと見せつけてくれます。
You just had to flirt with me? Huh? And?
イラついてきてたんで
Pissing
す。
me off.
やっぱお涙で退場は私の好みじゃないです。
You know I really can't stand teary farewell scene.
やっぱ悪役は最後の最後までこういう面でなきゃ。
The bad guy really does need to wear this face at the very end.
いい面構えだぜ。
It's a nice look.
お前との結婚生活もヘドが出るくらい楽しかったかもな。
Married life with you probably would have been enough to make me vomit.
当然です。
Of course.
毎日のけぞらせまくってベアトさんなんか忘れさせてあげ
Bring you
る
around
く
every
らい
day.
快楽の世界に閉じ込めてあげたのに。
Locked up in a world of pleasure that'd make you forget Beato-san in a second.
お前ごとき小娘。バトラを虜にするにはまだ1000年早いわ。
1,000 years too early for you to capture Battler's heart, little girl.
ああ、あんたの顔もそれが一番キュートです。
You've never looked cuter than
お
you do now.
互い最後はこういう顔がいいですよね。
I guess both of us really do need to finish it this way. Which way is that?
恋。
これが探偵フルドエリカの最後の捨て台詞。
This is Detective Furuta Erika's final line. Final parting line, alright.
そして
And
自己
self-introduction.
紹介です。
A self-introduction, alright. How's that one gonna work, my friend? Erika spun a magnificent and graceful rondo, scattering blood and golden flower petals around her as she raised her gun. She's spinning. She's spinning! Someone stop her, she's spinning! She's too
は
strong!
じめましてこんにちは。
Hi, pleased to meet
探
you.
偵フルドエリカと申します。
I'm Furuto Erika, the detective.
招かれざる客人ですがどうか歓迎を。
I'm an uninvited guest, but please welcome me.
我こそは来訪者。
I'm the
六
visitor.
軒島の18人目の人間。
The 18th human on Rockenshima.
申し訳ないが、
Sorry, but
そなたを迎えても
even if you do join us,
17人だ。
that makes 17 humans. And there's the credits. Perfectly timed. Track was alright for that one, actually. Main track was pretty solid for that. The couple answering her red with their own red. That means that Erika, it's 16 probably. Chess intensifies. Yeah, we've gone from 18 to 16 people on the island. Quite impressive, isn't it? We're able to cut down so many people. Yamasawa, Yuza. Yeah, he's got credits here. Right. He shows up. And this time there's no more than. There's no more than. absolute number of people on the island's been determined, at least for the current case, because they can always add more. Actually, I wonder what they'll do next. Are we gonna have a regular duel between Burn Castell, Lambda Delta, Battler, Beato, or are we gonna go or are we gonna go into like a new character getting introduced as the villain for 2 episodes? Or new piece, sorry, of like maybe this time it'll be a Lambda Delta piece because we haven't seen Lambda Delta make a piece yet. I guess we'll have to find out next time.